Ale, 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 Milan, Ale. Forza lotta, vincerai, non ti lasceremo mai. Let's go, Milan! How is everybody doing, guys? We are going to do an AC Milan news late night edition or early edition, wherever you are around the world. Antonio said, Roy, we got to do AC Milan news because I have a lot of news. Guys, I do not know what the AC Milan news is of the day, all right? Antonio said he has news for us today. So I'm here to opine on the news that Antonio has for us. And I'm very curious to hear what he has to say. Other than that, guys, let's say hello to everybody that is here. What is up, Joel? How you doing, sir? Lucas, Roy, you're late. Hey, bruh, what are you talking about? I'm not late. It's perfect. Perfectly on time. The news is never late. Let's see. So, as far as I know, AC Milan is getting ready for this game goes. I'm looking forward to seeing a good game from AC Milan. I think just that one game against Lille is enough. I think they have probably built a good idea on what kind of rhythm it's going to look like. Joel says Lukaku looks like he could be leaving Inter. What the fuck are Merda doing, guys? Two things about Lukaku going to Inter. One, sucks for the Serie A. Bad for the Serie A, and the Serie A is being ripped apart, picked just like a little boy by the big guys. It's not a good look for the Serie A.
Roy.
You know, it's guys, we have Antonio. We have Antonio from the East Coast of America. What's up, Antonio? How you doing, Antonio?
Yeah, Roy. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can hear you very well.
Okay. You're very delayed for me. So I'm gonna quickly leave and join back and see if that works. So I'm having some internet issues.
Antonio, I do not hear you.
Hello.
I cannot. The lag, guys, don't worry. I am a technician and I can fix all of this shit easily.
Roy. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I'm gonna try getting on a computer if that will make this better. I'm on my phone right now, so.
Guys, be patient. The technical issues will be fixed. With great responsibility comes great patience. Technical issues will be fixed, guys, and we will get to the news. All right. I think now it should be all good. You should be hearing me. Antonio, try to make your way back. And let's see if we can get the show going. What's up, Rohit? How you doing, sir? I saw you liked the tweet that Rossoneri TV put on. Antonio, are you here with us? I don't think we have Antonio, guys. Hold on, guys. Everything will come back to normal. In the meantime, guys, as we're waiting for these technical issues to get solved, we can discuss things, AC Milan things. All right, guys, let me know. Is there a lag? Are the words coinciding with the sound? Do we still have a lag? Let me know if we still have a lag. You're good. All right. We're back in business. Antonio, we're back in business. Add to stream. Antonio, can you hear me? I think Antonio is having trouble hearing me. Okay, so now the lag is gone, but I'm not getting Antonio. Let's see if we can fix the Antonio issue here. Antonio, your mic is muted.
Hello, Roy.
Hello.
Did that work?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, guys, we're back in action, back in business. Forget all that shit happened a minute ago. Forget it never happened. This is a professional operation, multi-billion-dollar corporation with technical engineers. Nothing happened. We're all good. All right, Antonio, we're back in business. So, what's up, my friend?
How's everything going? Sorry about that, technical difficulties, but
Hey,
yeah,
happens, man.
I saw a comment about Inter, and there's so much news about other teams today, especially. So
Okay.
we could talk
Let's
about
go
that.
through it.
But
Let's go through it.
okay. So obviously, I saw a comment saying, "Why would Inter sell Lukaku?" And Inter don't want to sell him, but Chelsea are preparing an offer of 120 to 30 million euros plus players.
I love that.
So it's very tempting. Inter already made a huge profit off of Hakimi, so this is like another opportunity to make even more profit, but and fix all of their financial issues.
This is all great news. All great news so far.
Right. Chelsea are like they already bid 100 million. So
someone wants your camera to be turned on.
That is, I actually know that person, and I can't turn my camera on at the computer that I'm at right now. I had to quickly access a computer because I was on my phone. So I have to just so I can get better connection. So I cannot turn my camera on.
No problem. Keep on going.
Yeah, but so that is very tempting. So now it's at the point where Lukaku, it's up to him. If they're going to receive a bid of 120 to 30 million, then Lukaku's decision is important. He would be receiving a pay rise too, so it's up to them to convince Lukaku. But Chelsea are really forcing this transfer, and it's weird because I'm not seeing them forcing this. How's it going, Eastbourne? But it's weird because I'm not really seeing them pursuing Haaland as much, like with this intensity, like making huge bids. So this is crazy.
I did hear something about the Haaland operation, which maybe could shed light on this. Basically, what Dortmund is saying about Haaland is that they don't want to let go of Haaland now. They would actually rather lose him next year when the clause gets there's that clause engagement of 75 million. So they don't want to lose him this year. It seems like Dortmund wants to keep him this year. They don't mind the extra money that they would make. They're just going to lose him when the clause comes into operation.
Yes, exactly. It's around 75 million. So next year, that is probably what's going to happen. Okay, and then just to go through other news, I'm not really going to get into specifics, just different deals. So Xhaka, which is the midfielder from Switzerland and Arsenal, Roma wanted him, and it was looking very close to happening, but now it's Xhaka is going to extend with Arsenal, so Roma fans are pissed about that. Tottenham.
I'm kind of pissed about it too, actually.
Why?
I would have thought it would have been nice to have Xhaka come to Italy, make Rome a little bit more competitive. He's a good player. He has a lot of personality. Yeah, it is kind of disappointing to hear that.
Okay. Christian Romero is basically a done deal to from Atalanta to Tottenham.
Yep.
So for around 50 million. Kane is looking like he's going to leave Tottenham this summer. And then we'll see what else. I'll just stick to the most important news.
Yusuf, I'm gonna talk about all of this in a second. After we go all the news items, I'm going to give you my opinion on the whole Lukaku situation. Keep on going.
Yep. Demiral is going to join Atalanta on loan from Juventus.
Woo!
Manchester City are trying to make big payments for Jack Grealish right now. And I'm just going to avoid the Milan news because there is some Milan news, but I'll talk about that later when we're ready. But Aston Villa just signed Leon Bailey, who is like a right wing forward player that Milan were interested in for a little while, but he's a bit too expensive for us. He's a Bundesliga player, but he's going to England.
How much?
30 million. So,
damn, son, 30 million?
Yep.
I actually heard more. It's okay.
It's crazy because I think that might be 30 million pounds. I'm not sure, but it's crazy because English teams like Aston Villa can really spend like a bit more than Milan can on many situations, or around the same.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But yeah, that's just the main news for today. And then I have a bunch of Milan news that's more specific.
All right, let's do the Milan news, and then we'll go over all the points.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want to talk about like Lukaku before, so we just get it over with, or?
No. I want to leave that for last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first piece of news is pretty much everyone knows. Hauge is basically almost a done deal to Frankfurt for 12 million.
Good.
It was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano.
Good.
Lucas is gonna be happy. Roy, why are you saying good? Like, what are your views on that?
Why am I saying good about Hauge leaving?
Yeah,
it gives more space for Maldini.
But Hauge doesn't play like number 10.
Maldini can play either on the left or number 10. It just gives more space for Maldini, or something else might happen. We might get into that.
Okay. So I think I'm happy for Hauge because I think he was treated unfairly personally. But
hold on. Sorry, what is this guy saying? Guys,
don't read that. Don't read that. He's just trying to troll you.
What does that mean?
He's just trolling. He's like saying I'm about to, He a couple typos, but
okay, I see what you're saying, bro. You need to be in an asylum. All right, let's go. Keep on going.
Okay, so Hauge, like I said, I was happy for his career because he basically had like almost no chances to play towards the end of the season, and he is now going to the Bundesliga, which is good for development, and
It suits them well, I think, at the Bundesliga. It suits Scandinavian players better than the Italian. Such a difference of. I mean, we're talking about such a huge difference in culture from Scandinavia to Italy, while the more German culture a little bit more similar. Would suit them better.
Yeah. And then just the last thing is I read a report that said that Hauge already said goodbye to his teammates. So this has been a long time coming.
Hauge, thank you for your services. Us fans did appreciate you. We do not turn our back on you, but we don't make these decisions. The management does. But we will always remember you, Hauge, as one of the players that contributed to the great comeback of AC Milan into the Champions League. Sarai sempre riconosciuto come un rossonero. Thank you, Hauge.
Yeah. I think he has a potential, and I think he's a great player.
Is there a buyback clause or something like that?
Doesn't look like it. Just 12 million straight up option to just a transfer. So there's no loan or anything, no option, no buyback or anything. So,
guys, Lucas is crying. Lucas, don't cry. Don't cry, Lucas. Don't cry, Lucas. It's okay.
Lucas does not like Hauge.
Lucas, man, you were talking shit about Hauge for every single day. But it's okay, guys. We will remember Hauge as a red and black football player, and forever he will be regarded in high esteem by us Milan fans for his contributions to the season. Anyway, let's move on. Keep on going.
Sure. I think Lucas is being sarcastic because I know he doesn't like him. But I'm seeing different comments, and we're going to talk about the different things I'm seeing in the comment section. I have them written down. But that just to start off with that. And then the next player that is going to be another departure from the team, at least temporarily, is Caldara, because it looks like there was a meeting today and with Venezia and a loan with an option to buy.
I agree with that one.
Of course. Honestly, I wouldn't mind just getting rid of him all straight out without any loans, but Venezia is not going to be able to pay any decent transfer fees for him, so I guess a loan with option is, makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that because Caldara, I mean, he had so many years. How many more years do you need to carve your way into this team? We do have an upcoming star in our midst called Mattia Gabbia, and by keeping Caldara in, it would just kind of gridlock Gabbia out of playing minutes. And Gabbia is a star in the under-21s, and you know how much I love the under-21s and the Italians. So good even though Caldara is Italian. So good. Yeah, let's get Caldara to Venezia. He'll have a great season there. Let's give more space for Gabbia.
Yep. Okay, the next piece of news is just about the game tomorrow, and reports are saying that Giroud is likely to start, which is great to hear because he's our number 9 when Ibra's not able to play. So I think getting him as much game time and getting just making that clear is important. Also, I don't know any news about if Maignan is going to play the whole game or if Giroud will probably not play the whole game, considering. But Maignan, I mean, personally, I'd want to see him play the whole game because it doesn't make sense to substitute out goalkeepers.
No, he's obviously going to. I don't think he's going to play the whole game. I don't think so.
Do you know, in your opinion, why he didn't play the whole game against Nice?
Because in friendlies, that is a very common thing to do. You play all your goalkeepers. That is very common. Very common.
Okay, just making sure. I would think that getting him as much time possible in the goals.
No. In preseason friendlies, you want both your goalkeepers to get some minutes. Then once things get a little bit more closer to the beginning of the season, we have to still remember we still have when does the season start? In 3 weeks?
Yeah, we have 3 more friendlies.
Right, we still have 3 more friendlies. Right now, we're far away from the beginning of the season. None of our team is in that mindset, okay? Because you have different kind of mindsets. You have the mindset, I got to win points, and the mindset, I just got to prepare. I'm relaxed. I got to prepare. I got to do my work. They're still in that mindset of preparation. There's no stakes. Some of them are pretty nervous, I would say. They want to impress. Magnan doesn't need to impress anybody. He is the goalkeeper. I mean, who is he impressing? But you'll have players like Pobega, like maybe Tonali wants to impress. Pobega definitely wants to impress. Ibrahim Diaz with that number 10, he definitely wants to impress. I think Salamakers, I think, is another player that wants to impress because if we know that Milan is looking for a right winger, I'm sure he knows also. So, but again, they're not in the mindset, in that frame of mind of we need to win points. So yeah, it's okay. I want to see. Let us see what Tatursano does also. Anyway, keep on going.
Okay. The next piece of news is about Sabitzer, and a report came out saying that he would prefer other teams, even though he likes Milan, respects them. He would prefer to stay in Germany, maybe. And
wait, hold on. Sorry, you said Sabitzer does not want to come to Milan?
No, I said he prefers other options, and I was going to tell you one.
What, rather than Milan?
Yeah. Well, because
I do not want to hear one freaking person tell me that they want Sabitzer in the team after this guy says something like that. Okay? Milan Forum, Friday, remember. Keep on going.
Okay. Sabitzer basically reports that he would prefer to go to Bayern Munich because Nagelsmann is the coach there.
I don't blame him.
So that's probably why, but I don't think he meant any disrespect. He was just saying, like, the report just says that is more of a likely destination for him. Less adapting to do, and
I don't blame him. A lot of Austrians playing in the German Bundesliga. Bayern is a monstrous club. It's a Goliath of a club. Why if he has the option to stay in Germany and go to Bayern, only a moron would not do that. So I can't blame him.
Yeah. Okay. The next piece of news is a bit interesting. I know some people are going to like this, but there are ongoing talks with the entourage of Tete, which is the right winger from Shakhtar.
Very interesting player.
Yeah. He actually played today. He scored a penalty kick in a Champions League qualification game, the first leg, against the Belgian team Genk. Another thing about Genk is just to put to rest some rumors. Roman Yaremchuk, which is the Ukrainian striker, he used to play for Genk, but his transfer was very quiet. Unless you follow the team that he went to. So he was actually confirmed to be a
guy, right?
Yeah. He was confirmed to be a Benfica player a couple of days ago, and I just found that out today because the transfer was super quiet. So he's not joining us, obviously. He's actually with Mete right now at Benfica. So that's pretty funny.
Okay.
But anyways, so talks are ongoing with Tete. Not like we don't know how advanced this is whatsoever, but Milan are looking at multiple options for all these positions, and he is looking like one of the many options as of now on the right wing. And this was so talks have been confirmed, and they were initially reported like last week or 2 weeks ago. So there's a bit of truth to this interest right now.
Okay, all right. The Tete, really good player. Technical dribbles, youngster Brazilian prospect might break into that national team. I think that Tete would be actually a really good signing. I'm definitely for this signing if it comes to fruition. Any player that could break into that Brazilian national team is welcome in AC Milan. So yeah.
Yep. The next piece of news, before we get into some juicier pieces of news, this news is about Dalot, and once again, talks are ongoing for Dalot with Manchester United. They want a what's it called? They would like a higher paid or a straight up option or straight up transfer, but Milan won a loan with option.
Yeah.
And also, it's important to note here that this is also depending on if Man United can sign Trippier from Atletico Madrid, because they're looking for another right back. And if they don't get Trippier or another player, then Dalot could just stay. So
I didn't know Trippier played for Atletico Madrid. Wow, it's so strange to see English players play in Spain. They're so rare.
yeah, it is very rare. And also Dalot he personally would like to come back to Milan, so
Of
it's just
course.
more another option that can
Yeah,
maybe push that.
the law loved AC Milan, the connections he made, the atmosphere. AC Milan is a beautiful place to grow. And having Maldini there is a whole different story. I don't blame him. All these players that go through Milan, they fall in love with Milan. I'm sure Hauge is hurting. Deep inside. So. The thing is that Manchester United, which is something that we are going to be talking about in a few, is willing. Well, how much do they want to pay Trippier for?
Well, right now the transfer isn't anything advanced, so I'm not 100% sure, but the value on Trippier is going to be, I'm guessing, around 30 million.
Yeah, so they'll pay 40, 50 million, no problem. Milan is asking for a loan. It's going to be difficult. Milan's going to have a tough time with Manchester United. Seeing how much they're spending, they definitely want to monetize because they're spending a lot of money. It's not going to. Manchester United is probably a difficult club to negotiate with right now.
Of course, most of the English teams are difficult to negotiate with. Their value, their currency, and their the market in England is so much higher.
Oh my God, guys! I'm about to have a heart attack. Guys, look at what Lucas just wrote. EPL clubs are becoming a problem. # we want Super League. Last time I want to just say something. Last time I said I was for the Super League, Lucas told me to fuck off. So I'm glad that things are starting to come to light. All right. Anyway, keep on going.
Okay. So now the main two pieces of news that are really interesting. One of them is we started talking about yesterday, and the other one is kind of new that Eastbourne was asking about. But the first player is James Rodriguez. And we did see those links yesterday that were from Colombian sources. And today, just to speak a bit about those links, Jacobone and other Italian sources did confirm that there was essentially what the Colombian news sources said. So there is truth to this. And in Colombia, I just saw some threads on Twitter. They're actually really talking about James and Milan because James is such a big player in Colombia. So they're the news is doing big transfer stories about this. So there's a lot of attention to this transfer, and it looks like as of now there's some truth. And apparently there's also been some English sources that have said that Milan are interested in, and also from what I'm hearing, it looks like Milan will approach Everton with a 10 million bid soon. We don't know exactly if that's true, but that is a possibility. Yeah. And then it looks like there's also chances for his wages to be cut, and he's willing to accept a wage cut. And there's some favorable circumstances there. So James is looking like a serious option.
Yeah, good. It's a good option, guys. James is quality. He's the kind of player that us Milan fans, we might be saying, we might be skeptical about him right now, but this is the kind of player that he scores these crazy goals, and then from one day till the other, he becomes a Milan legend. So if James does come, it's going to be very good for Milan. Not great for Brahim Diaz, though. But it's same with Isco. Even if Isco comes, that will not be great for Brahim Diaz. Anyway, keep on going.
Yeah. So are you excited for James though? Would you
Oh
be?
yeah, of course. Yeah. I would definitely love to have James at AC Milan. James is a player of quality. He's a player that can technically he speaks the Milan language when it comes to football. You know, the ability to play possession football, the ability to play in tight spaces, the ability to not lose the ball, the ability to dribble, to score these goals, very difficult goals to score. His free kick from close, because there are different kind of free kicks, right? There's a free kick from far, which Ibrahimovic was great at. There's a free kick from very close, edge of the box, where Ibrahimovic is not that great at, but a player like James is really good at that. So we lost Hakan, who was the free kick taker, but with the James, we gain another free kick taker. Yeah, James would be excellent for me. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Funny enough, I actually was watching Kjaer's like introduction video when he joined Milan recently. I don't know. I went back and I found it, and he actually is a free kick taker as well.
I like this by Lucas.
Yeah. So it's funny enough that Kjaer actually can take free kicks, but he's just never taken one really. So for Milan at least.
No, Kjaer is actually he seems to always propose himself when they're free kicks. He's always goes there. I saw it in the Euros too. In Milan, he goes there and he talks, he negotiates. Sometimes he takes him, sometimes he doesn't. Yeah, apparently he does have a knack for free kick taking. Good call.
Yep. Okay. And the next piece of news, which is interesting, is about Vlasic. And Eastbourne asked this. There's some reports that are saying, like, I think are a bit exaggerated, that are saying done deal, but I don't think it's nowhere near a done deal. But basically, now that Hauge is looking like a done deal, the 12 million is likely to be reinvested, and there's news saying that money can be used for Vlasic because to kind of close the gap on the like what the club wants and what Milan are offered already. So that is a possibility as well. So Vlasic could also happen. Basically, a lot of different options as of now. Yeah, there's James,
Yeah,
there's Vlasic, there's Isco, there's all sorts of players.
yes, Isco. Some of the Italian newspapers were kind of linking Isco to Milan because Isco wrote a message on Brahim Diaz's Instagram. So we're kind of making those links, those kind of speculations. I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you see that, Antonio? Basically, Brahim Diaz was his birthday today in Italy, and he had a picture with him, Theo Hernandez, and Castillejo, and Isco wrote, "What a trident." Fire, fire, fire emoji. So some of the Italian newspapers were kind of, speculating, linking, just coming up with theories, with ideas. Isco, Milan is going to see Real Madrid on Sunday. For damn well they're going to be talking about Isco. We'll see. With the sale of Caldara, with the sale of Hauge, now with some money coming in, Milan is going to go on the pounce, on the attack.
You basically, I was actually going to talk about some of the things you said, which is about Isco, but yeah, you're 100% right about Real Madrid. And there are reports that are saying that there will be discussions about players. Milan showed interest in Isco, Odriozola, and there's also other forward players that are interesting. But yeah, that looks to be a concrete option as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then a couple pieces of news. Kalulu may be loaned out, which is something that I was saying a while back.
I did not hear about this. Okay.
There's an option. There's always it's a possibility because if you look at our depth, we have two left backs. We have Kjaer, Tomori, Romagnoli, and Gabbia, the center backs. And we have Calabria, and we're trying to get Dalot or another whatever option we can get for another right back. So it looks like we'd have 2 players in every position. So therefore keeping Kalulu isn't really like a safe choice. So we don't know what is going to happen with him basically. So it's a possibility. So there are reports that are saying that.
Okay, the Kalulu loan deal. I mean, I'm not against it. But there definitely needs to come someone coming inbound. Who did you say that might take his spot?
Well, I said so right now we have 2 players in every position except for the right back, and we're trying to get Dalot again. So we'd have 2 right backs. So it's up to us if we want to keep an extra defender just to have in case of of injuries, because we're well stacked. So it's just about if we want to keep him or try to loan him out.
So today you heard news about Kalulu possibly going out on loan, huh?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, this one is a strange one. It's strange to kind of understand the technical and tactical motivations for this. I mean, I do see the benefit in Kalulu going out on loan and getting a lot of minutes. He needs the experience. Obviously, I wonder if that means that because of the trials, okay, I'm starting to connect some dots, guys. I'm starting to connect some dots. Investigator 007 Roy here is starting to connect some dots. Gabbia was used on that right. I wonder if this means that Gabbia is being thought as a player that could be used in different positions. But it is a strange move, I gotta say. It's one that is a little bit hard to kind of figure out why they would do that.
Yeah, I think Kalulu, if he can find minutes, it'd be better for him to stay because I've clearly seen improvement in him throughout the season. Like I've noticed when he does play, and he's definitely fine with being on the bench a lot of the time. So I don't mind keeping him whatsoever. And plus he can play different positions, so I would hope we keep him, but we don't know.
Yeah. It's a hard one to gauge. This one is a difficult one to understand.
Okay. Right. Yep. The next piece of news is about Ibra, and there are reports saying that Ibra is likely to start resuming like on-field training very soon, which is good. And as of now, he's just been doing like gym work and pool exercises. So he is progressing. We don't know if he can be back for the first game, but they're taking their time. And once he starts playing on the field again, Pioli can judge the amount of time he'll be able to recover from. So that is good news, I would say, and I think that it's good that we don't need to rush because we have Giroud now for the first couple games, so we should be good.
Yeah, we don't need to rush Ibrahimovic. Actually, this year, Pioli needs to chill the F out, and he needs to not want to play Ibra every single minute, every single second, because he really needs to be careful how he uses Ibra. He needs to use him with, in Italian there's a saying, usalo con il contagocce. You have to really be careful how you use him, proper dosage of minutes, because otherwise we're going to lose him for months if they don't manage him properly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And just before I move on from Ibra, I saw a comment and I did notice it.
This one here?
There are reports saying that he was weighing up the chance to go to PSG at the instead of renewing with Milan for a season. But we don't know how serious this actually was. But I guess.
But why is this okay? No, finish what you're about to say about this. We don't have something to say about it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that PSG, that they love to watch Serie A and they love to take a lot of players in Serie A. So, it could be true that they were interested in Ibra, considering that he had a good season when he was healthy, and obviously they don't care about buying veteran players right now because they're trying to make a big push for the Champions League. So maybe it would make sense to have Ibra on their team for a season just to see how far they can go. But that was just an option for him. So, but he's really with us.
The way I heard it was that Ibra asked PSG. It's not that PSG went to Ibra, it's that Ibra asked PSG. That's what I heard Delegati say. But guys, you guys are saying it's fake. Why would it be fake? When Ibra was negotiating his contract, he probably asked other clubs too. I mean, you know, we tend to think that these players are tied to our colors. These players have a lot of options, guys. This is the world of football. This is the business of football. He probably looked at, there are probably other teams that we will never know. He probably had a call with some other team that we will never know. It'll never probably come out in the news. So to me, this piece of news, I saw it today. I don't think it deserves any sort of backlash, any sort of judgment. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, Ibra had a great relationship with everybody there, all the players. He went to Verratti's wedding. He saw him. He was one of the best men of Verratti there. Yeah, so this is normal. This is football, guys. These guys, there's no, you know, like we as fans tend to think that these football players are faithful to our colors and all that crap, but it's more complicated than that.
Yeah, I mean, you said you're not surprised at all. The only reason why I was a bit surprised is because of his age. And you know, it's kind of weird to go to PSG when you're 40. But yeah, so he did ask Mino to like probe around and look for possibilities there.
Absolutely normal.
Yeah, I'm not upset about this. He re-signed with us anyways, so we're good.
Yeah.
And the last piece of news about Maldini, because I did read, and you're going to be very happy, that there is no intention whatsoever to loan him out. So it looks like right now he's going to stay with the team, and he will keep developing.
Yeah. Look, we saw Maldini play against Nice. Difficult game. That was a difficult game, and he killed it. I think Pioli is not an idiot. The people that work at Milan are not idiots. Maldini, the father, is very far from being an idiot. If there is talent there, they see it, and they're going to nourish that talent. We saw the talent on what was it, Saturday, and let's see. Maldini is obviously going to go in the under-21s sooner or later. We're going to see if he becomes a main protagonist in the under-21s. Usually that is a huge indicator of what a player will become in the future. So I think that they see something in Maldini that a lot of us unfortunately haven't seen yet because we don't see him every day. So this is good news, I think. The name is great, and we love that name, and we want to see that name succeed.
Yep. That's basically all that I have. And then we can talk about different situations. Yeah, so if there's any players to talk about, we can see what happens. But look at the comments maybe.
All right. So look, earlier Youssef asked me this question here. Roy, your thoughts on Lukaku? All right. So my thoughts on Lukaku. Very different. They're different things, but I'm thinking. One, excellent. This is great news for us because Inter without Lukaku means less competition, means that Inter is going to struggle, but they are going to be a million, whatever, or 100 million and 130 whatever euros richer, which can fix their debts, and once they fix their debts, then maybe in a year or so they can start to buy big players again. So on that respect, it's a good thing for AC Milan. It basically diminishes the strength of one of our competitors. As a whole, it's terrible for the Serie A. And it's terrible because it further proves why these teams wanted to do the Super League. Because you have such an incredible disparity in financial power across Europe that it's come to a point where a gigantic club like Inter A gigantic club like Milan cannot compete, not even close to these teams. I mean, look at what, we spoke about this a few nights ago. We are here struggling to get Giroud for $1 million. Like literally, we struggle to get Giroud for $1 million, and you have Chelsea ready to splash the cash, 130 million. 1 million is less than is literally 0.00001% of 130 million. So, do you guys understand the gap that we're talking about here? And this is why people are saying about the Super League. But this is now I have a new theory about this, guys. I actually don't want the Super League to happen. I don't want the Super League to happen. I want this to continue. I want the Premier League to just become a monopoly, UEFA to kiss their ass, PSG to become a monopoly. You know what? I want this shit to happen. I want this shit to happen because you know what? That means that finally Italian players are going to fucking play again in the Serie A, and finally the youth of Italian players can finally be exploited, and finally the national team will become very competitive again. So this is my thoughts. I honestly do not give a fuck about the Super League at this current moment. Anyway.
Yeah, a couple of thoughts on that. Number one, I kind of agree. Like, if they're not going to make the Super League, if they're going to shut it down, then I don't mind this. Let's just see this keep going on. I feel like eventually there's going to be there has to be something that's going to stop them. Whether it's if it's not UEFA, it has to be maybe the no. Hold on,
UEFA's not going to stop.
I know, but I'm maybe like fan protests from other countries. Like look at you have really passionate fans in other countries, and England's one country. So you look around, and there's teams with huge fan bases like Real and obviously the Italian teams, but look, what are they supposed to think when they're used to seeing success, and all of a sudden now all of their players, all the best players are being taken by the same teams?
Fuck them. All these people were on the streets with signs, fighting, going to war for the crony capitalists, going to war for the monopolists, the people that are creating this monopoly. The people literally went to war for the ones that they always talk negatively about, right? So fuck them. Who cares? You know what? Keep on doing what you're doing, and this means that now Italy will be forced to use their youth sector, forced to develop players, and so what? Good.
It's interesting, because when I remember watching the protests in England with the Super League, and I was like, are you serious? Are they actually this upset?
Rohit doesn't agree. Yeah, right, exactly.
But and at the same time though, these fans are the same ones that are in the Premier League, and they don't know what it's like really to support a team that just watches all the best players buy everything. They're in a financially dominant league, so it's kind of annoying that they were able to just single-handedly shut down the Super League.
And Manchester United is literally about to spend 200 million euros on 3 players. This Trippier guy, what's his name, Varane and Sancho, right? It's going to come close to 200. Manchester United fans were the most vocal about it. They literally were the most vocal about this whole Super League thing. And they are literally the embodiment of the Super League. It is such a crazy thing.
There's one team, one big Premier League team that I do respect. The team that I respect the most in the Premier League. Obviously, I respect some of the smaller teams for whatever reason, but Liverpool have my respect because Liverpool have never really they have a great history, and recently, even with their amazing team, they did spend a lot of money for Van Dijk and some players, but they were successful because of kind of just good overall scouting, good formation, a good head coach. So they're less of just like a money team. They've never really been much of like a super money team, even though they've had great players in the past. So I do respect Liverpool, and their fans were upset. Obviously, I disagree with the fans. I like the Super League, but they're the one team that kind of are an exception to that. But anyways, I just really like the Premier League in general. So, and then my thoughts on Lukaku, just to come back to that. I think even I'm happy because I don't think Inzaghi is personally. I don't think he's that good of a coach, and I think if he, I'm seeing names being thrown around that are saying like, oh, with the money that they're going to get from Lukaku, Inter are going to get. They are going to look at Zapata or some other strikers, but I don't think Inzaghi's going to make like a great decision on what striker to replace Lukaku with. I don't see him being like an amazing striker unless they get somebody like a star, but they're not going to.
Inzaghi does not have a personality that Conte has. The reason why Lukaku came to Inter is because Conte pushed for Lukaku. Okay, Conte is a guy with he's a very demanding guy. Inzaghi does have personality, but he doesn't have Conte's personality. So whatever striker comes after this Lukaku thing is not going to be anywhere near what Lukaku is as far as impact on the team, as far as technical impact or all of that. Inter right now is basically a mess. They're a mess. And Inter literally have fallen prey to all these teams that have said they're the saviors of football. The saviors of football literally looked at Inter as a carcass, like these vultures, and they went there and flew around Inter, and now they're just eating this carcass alive. Carcasses are dead, but they're just finishing off the pieces of this carcass. So the saviors of football are doing a great job at destroying Inter, which is great for us, yes, but very bad for Serie A.
Yeah, I think so the Hakimi deal, like I don't think Inter fans didn't really mind it too much. I mean, they did because at the end of the day, they had to accept the fact that they lost their head coach and they're financially unstable. But the fact that they were able to get 80 million for Hakimi was worked out in their favor because I think that was around the amount of like debt they had, around 80 million, but maybe a bit more. But now they were definitely not looking to sell Lukaku. They rejected the first bid of 100 million, so they weren't really looking for this. But Chelsea are being super insistent about him, and it's crazy because he was a Chelsea player in the past, and now they want to buy him back for 130 million, which is insane.
And it's not even their first choice. I mean, do you understand the gap? We're talking about gaps. Lukaku is not even their first choice. Their first choice was Haaland, but they wanted to spend 160 million?
50, I think, around that much.
And because Dortmund said no, they're going to their second choice. Guys, we have Rohit. What's up, Rohit?
Hi, Roy. I mean, a very interesting topic. Very interesting topic.
Yes, very interesting topic.
Yeah, so I've been tweeting about. Please go on. Actually, I've been tweeting about Inter's financial situation since.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been tweeting about Inter's financial situation since last December. Like I knew that this was coming for them, because I mean their entire club is I'm not saying it against the club, more against the management. The management is a complete farce. So I mean the basic way of saying how they operated was they were earning $10 and their expenses were $30. So that $20, from Calcio Finanza, they were reporting that Inter have worth 400 million debts to be repaid by end of next year. And and guess what? All of this money, this 400 million, most of it was availed to sign Lukaku and Hakimi and Barella, all of these players. So I mean, it's been an expert. I mean, it's a complete whack job from their management. I mean, Marotta did a good job at getting the good players and winning a Scudetto, but it was not done while keeping in mind the finances of the club.
Wow, so this shows a lot of incompetence, pretty much. It's almost like the Scudetto was not even worth it. for
I mean,
them because
last year when we were penny pinching, and not last year, last 2 years when we were penny pinching, and Inter was just going lavish on all signings. All of the Milan fans were kind of skeptical towards Gazidis and Maldini, but guess who came out laughing?
that's right, guys. The first team of AC Milan of Milano,
A-
not the second team, the first team of
and
Milano.
and right now it's all there is a huge, I mean, there's a huge war. I heard even Simeone Inzaghi is kind of pissed with the management. Marotta is also pissed with the ownership, and it's complete chaos. I think it can utterly, I mean, the whole wheels can come out very soon.
Oh no, I think it's going to happen at this point with all of these. I mean, how as far as you guys know, how far are they into this deal? Like, what does it look like? Is it a done deal pretty much?
So basically, Abramovich's son has been actually went to Milano to try to convince Lukaku to join, and basically, so the first they bid 100 million, and Fabrizio Romano confirmed that they're looking to bid another 120 to 130 million, and plus players. So the first 100 million was for Marcus Alonso as well. They were going to throw him, which is a good backup left back, which they need.
What a
They,
shit.
actually, Alonso would start because Perisic is not a great left wing back.
Right. So now they're looking like in the report that I read, it's definitely going to be 120 to 30 million plus players in general, so maybe even more players. We don't know. So Chelsea want to get this deal done because Haaland is just not going to happen, it looks like, this summer. But the thing is, that's stopping it from becoming a done deal is Inter. But with this request of 130 million, it's hard for Inter to say no, and so it falls down to Lukaku, and he's being convinced with higher pay, higher wages.
How
And,
much are they offering him?
I don't know the exact numbers, but a big pay rise, basically, from what he's earning right now. So basically, they're really trying to convince him. So at the end of the day, it's just about like if they can convince everyone to make the deal go through. So it's not a done deal, but they're really trying to close it soon.
Hmm. Here we go. 12 million net. 12 million net.
Also, Lukaku, I mean, they're trying to push Lukaku out because I think Inter still owe Manchester United around 40 to 50 million for this transfer.
How much was Lukaku's transfer? Do you guys know that?
Something worth 75 to 78 million.
Oh wow, that shit. So they don't want even. So they don't. So out of this 130 million, we're going to use a portion of it to pay off what they owe Manchester.
Similar with Hakimi. They had to pay Real Madrid 40 million. They sold him for 60 million. 40 million goes to Real Madrid in installments, or maybe the whole amount.
You know, we had our moments in history where we were a little bit, let's say, embarrassed with who was at the helm of a club. Mirabelli, etc., etc. But right now, you can definitely say that the Inter fans should be embarrassed for whoever's managing their club.
They should be embarrassed by their ownership itself. I mean, their ownership has not done any work since last year to help the club in terms of debts. I mean, with that way, I think Elliot has done a superb job. We literally had something like 200 million debts, and Elliot has now made it up to like 100 or 80 million. I mean, every club has a little bit of debt. I mean, that's how a big company works. Every company has debt, but we had around 250 million when we were under Berlusconi last, and now we have only 80 million.
Mm. Well, look, it's a good thing that it's Inter and not us. It's a good thing, and it also says why. It explains even more why Conte made such a strong decision to leave. He knew. I think he knew where the club was going. Because he sees it. He sees it, right? He knows what's actually happening.
Actually, most of us. I mean, I was 100% sure Conte would leave at the end of the season. because
Really?
I was even actually I felt that Conte would leave the season where they lost the Europa League. I mean that final. I was sure
Mm,
because I mean with this pandemic situation, I was sure that Inter couldn't spend and they had a lot of debt as well. So I thought that the way with his kind of crying nature, wherever he goes, he cries. Even at
right.
Chelsea, he was crying. So with his that kind of nature, I expected him to leave that last season. But this season, when all of that news of not paying wages came out, I was 100% sure that Inter are going to disintegrate very soon.
Yes! Yes! Guys, this is excellent news for us. This is the best news that
And
we could
also,
have also.
one more news that I would like to add is that Lautaro Martinez is being linked to Arsenal. I think there is something there as well. And it was reported by David Ornstein, who is like one of the most reliable reporters in England.
Yeah, just to add that Lautaro, like the more players that are leave Inter, the more likely other players are going to want to leave because Lautaro, they were at a season high winning the Scudetto, and to try to there was at a point where Barcelona wanted him, and but then confidence came that he wanted to resign, but that was when Conte and everybody was still there, so like he can basically turn and want to leave at any moment. The worse this gets, so basically, Milan's strategy of wages and safe financial investments have been working out, and hopefully they end up in success because we're building towards success right now.
Right,
So
right.
it's getting exciting.
We're building our talents.
And
Uh,
to add to your point, Antonio, I think what we achieved last season was phenomenal. I mean, a lot of credit to Pioli and Maldini and Massara, where we only invested something like 30 million, of which only 7 million was already for Care and Lukaku. I mean, not Lukaku, sorry, Care and Salamakers, which was already agreed last season. I mean, the season before that. So we spent, in effect, we only spent 23 million last season and we reached second place. And if we didn't have injuries, maybe we could have even challenged for the Scudetto. So who knows?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is very good news for us Milanisti. We like to see our cousins from the other side of town crumble. But I'm seeing this comment here. This is terrible for the league. Uh, Rohit, I know last time we had a great conversation about how much we're for the Super League. I have done a complete 180. I don't want to do the Super League anymore.
But even actually, even Juventus are crumbling right now.
Good.
Even Juventus are crumbling. They can't even offer 30 million for Locatelli.
That's fine. I want all these teams to crumble, which will force them to use the youth. They'll force them to do what Milan did. This will force all the Italian teams to do what Milan did. Build with the youth, and then create great teams like that. Good. Come on, Rohit. I know you disagree with me there.
I definitely disagree because I mean Leicester City last season in the 2020-21 season there was a player called Wesley Fofana. So we wanted Wesley
Yes,
Fofana.
yes. I'm sorry to
Antonio,
interrupt.
you
Yeah.
take it. You take it.
Oh my
You know,
gosh, I was really upset with that because basically, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but basically, like, I I saw this player, center back from Saint Etienne, that Milan were close to like the end of last summer's Mercato, and I think Leicester City, I know Leicester City bought him, and I believe the fee was around was it 50, 40,
40 million,
40
40
million,
million
40 million,
pounds,
40
40
million
million pounds.
pounds.
So that
Milan
would
were
be 45 million euros.
right, so Milan were not going to spend that much for him, and but basically, we scouted him as well, and he actually had a very good season in the Premier League. And this whole time, I was just thinking, watching him and like he blew up in the Premier League, and everyone was like praising Leicester City for the signing, and they were saying that like with the amount of money that they were like, oh, with how much defenders are worth. He's such a great signing, and they always praise Leicester for all their scouting. But Leicester, the thing with Leicester is they take all the players that Milan are linked with, but they just they don't even need to negotiate much because they have more financial power. So they go and they just close the deals before us, and because they pay what the more close to what the club wants. So you saw this with like Sumare and other players that they just come in and they try to close the deals.
Yeah.
Even players like Patson Daka and other players, they just go in and close deals quickly. So
Yeah.
it was frustrating.
And another thing I want to say, the news can be a little bit deceiving, especially when you kind of live in your own bubble. Like sometimes I only really go to AC Milan news, right? And I see all these players that are linked with AC Milan. But then I would say, let's say, okay, I'm going to go to this other team out of curiosity, and I see those same players linked to that team, and you just don't know, right? So our players are being linked to other teams too, which brings me to Isco. Guys, Juventus has put their foot in the race of Isco now. So let's see where that goes. Have
They
you
can't
guys heard
even
about that?
afford. They can't even afford Locatelli. How the hell are they going to afford Isco?
True, true. I mean, I'm not
And
going to
also,
debate that.
Isco does not fit Allegri's system unless Allegri does
Yeah,
a huge change in that system.
I agree. I agree. If Isco is coming in, that means someone is going out for sure. But I saw that in the news today. Okay, guys, let's go to some of these comments here. Let's comment on these, and then I'm going to bring up the probable formation for tomorrow, and let's see what everybody thinks. So, Rohit, this one's for you. Lucas says Rohit is being too negative. Inter and Juve are fine. Inter don't have to accept the offer. They're not selling.
Yeah, sorry, Lucas. I've been following Inter's finances since last 2 years now. Even Juventus is last 2 years. In Juventus have around 400 million of debt thanks to their stadium, and Inter have around 400. I mean, Inter are in the top 10 clubs with the highest debt. Their total debts, that is
In
net debt
Europe?
and gross in Europe.
Wow.
Their total debt, that is gross plus net debt, comes up to like 700 to 800 million. And in Milan's are only like 200, 240 million. So like 800 million debt is not a healthy sign of stuff. And the fact that even a relegated club in EPL is earning more money, I mean, debt is literally that you're borrowing from someone. So if you don't earn enough money, how are you going to pay away your debts?
So
And
this is going to happen for sure.
this is a big. I mean, the narrative is that Lukaku is it's a romantic transfer. He wants to go back. He wants to prove himself. But the simple fact is that Lukaku and Hakimi are getting pushed out of the club. I mean,
Yeah.
I even saw that Hakimi didn't is not even following Inter on Instagram, even as his ex club, because he's been following Real Madrid and Dortmund, even though they are his ex clubs. So I think there is some issue
Bad
going
blood.
on inside.
Bad
There is a
blood.
lot of bad blood.
Lukaku has said that he loves Italy. He loves Inter. He loves because Lukaku is not really interested in making a lot of money. He's already making a lot of money. I think a lot of these players know that they want to play football. They want to be in places that they know they feel comfortable. And in Italy, players like Lukaku are treated like gods pretty much. And I don't think Lukaku wants to leave. But yeah, he's being forced to leave.
Inter are a great club. I think Lukaku is a real Interist. I mean, he's that kind of player that has a lot of passion for the club. Something that very few players have today. I mean, today players are
Yeah.
all behind money. I mean, he's one of those passionate players. But I think, given the financial situation of Inter, I think they would have to sell. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
why they're selling Lukaku though, because Lukaku does not give any profit as much as maybe what Brozovic or De Vrij would give them. But I guess they're trying to sell whoever offers are there for. And
Right,
the
right.
most funny thing is last season, I mean at the start of 2020 transfer window, when there was this huge mania going in social media that Inter are close to signing Lionel Messi.
Right. I remember that. Remember, they even put a post of Lionel Messi's shadow on the Duomo. Do you remember that?
Yes. And rumor got thicker when Messi's father was spotted in Milan searching for
Yeah.
house. So
Right.
everybody was like,
Right.
yeah, he's coming. And I was
Speaking.
like,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, please. Yeah, Messi is earning 90 million was earning 90 million at Barcelona. How the hell are Inter going to pay 90 million when they are broke?
Right. Exactly. There is a very interesting picture of Messi with all PSG players. He's. Have you seen this picture that is circulating? Wait, is Di Maria still in PSG? I might be wrong about that.
Yeah, he's still there in PSG.
Okay, so there's a picture of Messi in Ibiza with Neymar, Paredes, Di Maria, and Verratti all chilling together. A very suspicious picture.
That's all. They're all Argentinian. I mean, except Neymar, I think they all are Argentinians.
Well,
Nothing
Verratti
more.
tag. And Verratti
And
tag.
okay. And Neymar is a big friend of Messi.
Yeah, no, they're all friends. They're all friends. But people are making speculations and they're trying to connect dots.
That's how they always make money in transfer windows.
Of course.
It,
I was going to say, going back to Lukaku, I even heard Lukaku say in an interview, I think with Ian Wright, how much he loves Inter and how much he just found his home there at Milano. And yeah, it's what's happening with Inter is terrible, but we are happy because we're Milanisti. We are happy because we're Milanisti. Okay, so let's go to this comment here from Youssef. He says, Atalanta are going to get Pobeg, in my opinion. They got 50 million from Romero. Wow, who the fuck paid 50 million? Tottenham paid 50.
I thought I told you that, bro. Yeah, I said
Tottenham,
50 million. That's it. Welcome to the Premier League.
And Lucas was just telling me that Inter and Italian Serie A doesn't have any money issues.
Guys, 50 million for Romero.
They made a huge profit. I think they bought him for 15 million and sold him for 50 million. That's like 35 million profit right there.
Yeah. Listen, I was joking about the Super League earlier, but
now you're doing another 180.
I mean, that's just crazy. I just didn't connect the dots earlier when the name Romero, but now 50 million for Romero. Wow.
In case Harry Kane leaves, they're going to get Dusan Vlahovic.
Yeah, they can. They definitely can. Fiorentina is asking 60 million.
They'll pay 70 million.
Basically, since Paratici is now their their head
head of sport,
right? He's basically just getting all the interesting Serie A players, and now Tottenham can just spend all this money to get all these top names in Serie A.
Oh, guys, listen, we have to be worried because soon they're going to be coming for our players, huh? And we're going to be coming for our players. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time.
To be honest, though, if someone offers 80 million for Theo Hernandez, I wouldn't be opposed to selling him.
I said the same thing yesterday.
But what's the point?
Because the point is we can either reinvest that into other positions, or we can try to get maybe someone who's doesn't have as much quality as Theo, but a good reliable left back. But then we can invest that money in more impactful players like forwards or just other squad positions overall.
I mean, get Theo Hernandez for 80 million. I mean, sell Theo Hernandez for 80 million. Get Gosens for 30-40 million.
Right.
And use the other 40 million or 30 million for getting Vlasic. Easy peasy.
Right.
But
or Vlahovic in the future.
I'm going to push back on this idea, because what is the point of selling Theo Hernandez for 80 million when whoever we buy in this current market cannot ever be looked as a long-term project? These are all players that you keep for 1 year. If these players at AC Milan, we know how AC Milan is. If you're doing good at AC Milan, you're in under a magnifying glass. What's the point of selling your top players to buy another player that might become a top player, and then again, fucking QPR is going to buy that player for 100 million? This is not how you build guys. This is not how you build projects. You need long-term projects.
I can answer that question. So like back in I mean until and unless we become financially stable, this is what we are going to be. We will have to give our best players to other teams, or we will have to deal like how Juventus do in some sort of crazy exchange deals that helps to skewer the accounts. I mean, back when Berlusconi was our owner, we didn't have any shortage of money. We didn't have FFP issues, so we didn't have to sell our players for money. But right now, to balance the books and to reinvest, we need to sell our players until and unless we get our stadium and maybe even the Super League happens.
Well, let's see. I'm not a big fan of selling our best players. If you think that by selling our best players is going to be better financially for the clubs in the future, but then again, the team still has to win. Because if a team doesn't make that, if we sell to Hernandez and we now take a risk on buying, 4 players that maybe today might sound incredible, but then they turn out to be not that great, and we don't make that top 4, we're back where we started. No, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not for this. I'm not for this. No, selling our best players, it's risk taking that has too much. There's too much on the line, on the stake. Like, let's say you sell to Hernandez. Who do you buy? Give me some options.
I already said Gosens. Gosens of Atlanta. I think he's a way better player than what Theo Hernandez is.
I mean, that is a good option. That is definitely a good option.
I also like Theo Hernandez's replacement in the French team. That is Lucas Digne of Everton. He's a great player.
Yeah, these are good options. Are they gonna have the same impact? I mean, Gosens
or we can upgrade on the Hernandez family and get Lucas Hernandez.
Hey guys, we have Lucas on mobile. Guys, we have Lucas live. This is a historic moment in internet, in the history of the universe. We have Lucas on mobile live. Let's see if his microphone works. Hello?
Please let it work. Oh, why doesn't it work?
Mamma mia, Lucas.
Why can't he get a new pair of earphones? How much does it cost you?
Guys, listen. Please send in donations so we can get Lucas a new microphone. And look at him using the young Ronaldo. All right. Anyway, let's see. Let's go to other comments here. This is an interesting one. Ricarda says Inter need 80 million plus Valenza. Hakimi only brought them around 35, 40. They need to sell more players to balance the books. This is what.
No. Hakimi got them around 25 million. 25 million plus Valenza on the books. And
Gotcha.
I think Lukaku would get them around 80 million if the 120 million fee is correct. So I think their 80 million plus Valenza is kind of quota is complete there, but I think they will keep selling because they need to pay off their debts. So I have no idea.
I think Rohit is expertly explaining this is very well. Lucas, are you with us? Guys, no Lucas. It's quite acceptable for Inter to slow down after winning the titles to solve financial issues. Actually, I don't agree with that. As a Milan fan, I think the pressure is on Milan to repeat the same start of last year, which looks far Wow. So Adel OTB is not very positive. I'm very positive about Milan's chances to repeat its success. I
I,
think
I, my take on this is that if Inter do sell Hakimi and Lukaku, who were their main two players, I think Inzaghi is going to struggle in Italian league for sure. Maybe not
oh,
even in the top four.
oh yeah, 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 of course. I think there is a chance that Inter does not make the top four this season, which would be great. I love to see that because in the Champions League they don't offer anything. They just embarrass us as a nation. So who cares? Lucas, are you with us, Lucas? No, Lucas, your phone is not working.
I
All
want to
right.
hear his voice. Come on.
He came on the other night. We heard him for a little bit. Barca is in the same situation. 1.3 billion in debt. My lord. What do you know about Barca, Rohit?
So what Richard is saying is spot on. They have 1.3 billion debts. And as far as I know, around 600, like what he said, 600 has to be paid within the next few months. I don't know how they're going to generate all of that money, but Barcelona in a year makes around 800 million to 900 million revenue. So I think that helps them. But Inter makes only around 300, 350 million. So
Wow.
that's where the difference is, arises. So they don't earn enough money to pay back the debts. And on top of that, Suning has been declared bankrupt in China. I don't know
Yeah.
how true that is because Chinese information is not available as freely as what you get in the States or in India.
Yep. Yep. Rohit, Lucas actually has a challenge for you. He says this guy thinks he's the shit. Morata said Inter isn't selling any star players anymore. I guess he
Yeah,
what?
every I mean, as a public company, you have to audit your accounts, and the audited accounts are displayed to the public for every company is supposed to display it. That's the rule in every country in terms of accounting. So there is an account called Swiss Ramble on Twitter, which speaks about, which takes out these audited accounts from different companies. It has of AC Milan as well. That's how I'm able to speak about it. And they compile. So as of June 2020, Inter Milan had to pay 204 million for transfers alone for the players they bought. It's like,
Wow.
you're buying a player and you haven't paid. You don't pay it at. If suppose we agree a fee of 10 million for a player, you don't pay 10 million in one installment. It's paid in installments, like over a period of 3 months or 4 months. And that's how maybe like it takes a long time for negotiation. So let's say 10 million is the agreed fee. So one player, the team, the let's say Milan agree for it. Milan would say we'll pay you 2.5 in 4 installments. The other team would say no, we need in 2 installments, 5 million in 2 installments. That's how a negotiation can stall as well. So that difference always arises. So I was examining the accounts of Inter Milan, and it's very pathetic. They have around 414 million as of June 2020. Now it is June 2021, and Inter Milan are still haven't published. All the accounts are published during January of.
Mm,
In football, a calendar year is from July 1st to June 30th. That's how a calendar year is taken. Even a season always starts from July 1st to June 30th. So that's
mm.
the window that they follow. So all accounts are published from July 1st to June 30th. So they haven't published for 2020-21 season. A lot of creative accounting can be done to save face, but in the end, all of those debts will always come back to. That's a. If Lucas wants any more easy, kind of
Oh,
What do you
I
say?
don't think that was. I don't think that was Lucas. I think someone else. Oh no, no, yeah, it was Lucas. It was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if he wants any more proof, I think Conte itself is enough proof. He knows that
guys,
Qatar cannot.
Rohit is very informed in the world of football. So if you challenge Rohit, it's at your own peril. Speaking of challenging, Rohit, you are about to face a challenge here because Lucas says, I am coming on just because Rohit said that Gosens is better than Tio. So, Rohit, put your boxing gloves on because Lucas has definitely put his boxing gloves on, and we're about to have a brawl here. So, we'll see
There's
how this goes.
there's one thing I want to say. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but the one problem with Deo is his ability, his inability to use his right foot. Like when he's dribbling, he almost never uses his right foot, and that's something that like not many people actually talk about, and it's pretty visibly obvious that but from the way he moves, that he looks kind of like lopsided many times, and I've noticed that when he's also attacking forward, it's limited him from going into space in certain situations. But I mean, he's a great player. Obviously, that's just one thing that's kind of annoying, and I do think that if you get a replacement for him, we will be fine, honestly, as long as it's somebody good. But yeah, I'm not saying Gosens is better.
Well, I mean, there are not many fullbacks that score goals like Theo does. Like Theo doesn't score any goals; he scores clutch goals. It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
I
Like,
mean, Gosens has been pretty clutch as well.
In
yeah,
Atalanta, ever since
Gosens. No, I'm not. Yeah, Gosens is someone I'm not going to argue about. Go ahead.
In Atalanta, ever since Papu Gomez left. So since Gasparini uses a 3-4-1-2 or a 3-4-2-1 formation, the roles of each player is defined. So for example, if Jim City, Palomino, and Romero are starting as defenders, their job, Romero's job is to keep the high line, and Jim City and Palomino keep overlapping and going forward, and kind of helping have a numerical advantage on the wings. Their midfield is Freuler and Darun. Darun and Freuler have actually no impact in terms of creativity. They're just
Yeah, yeah.
they're just there
Work
as
rate.
a muscle. They're just there to press. They're like B-Tech Kessie. I mean, they're just there to press. They're just there to be physical. They just have to.
And they play the simple game. They play the simple game.
And even Pessina is also very similar in that way. He's not the creative player. He actually does not involve in creativity. So the creativity of Atalanta falls to four players. So that would be Gosens, Hattabor, uh, Zapata, and whoever plays out of Malinowski and Muriel.
Yeah.
These four players are the ones who are kind of responsible for the attack. So I've watched Gosens a lot. Gosens is way more in terms of productivity. He's way more involved than
Yeah.
Theo. I mean, even yesterday, I mean, the game against Nice. So Theo dribbled past one player, and he was running into a wall of Nice players, and parallel to him, Diaz was open. So instead of making that pass, he just again went and hit the wall and lost the ball, and we got countered, and we almost gave away a goal.
Yeah.
So that
I
is
do
one
want.
basic thing. Yeah, please go
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Please go on.
No, no. By the way, Lucas is about to join us, and we're going to have a 1v1 Lucas Rohit. But I do want to say something, Rohit, and I do want to push back a little bit. First of all, if we sell Hernandez, which is a player that we already have, it's not a guarantee that we can get Gosens because other teams are on Gosens. Bayern was linked with Gosens. Juve wants to go with Gosens. Then you have the Premier League teams. So my problem with this whole argument is that selling Hernandez does not guarantee that we can get Gosens. But I'm not going to argue Gosens' technical impact. I do agree with you there, Rohit. Okay, Rohit, I'm going to bring on Lucas. He said that he's coming on just because Rohit said that Gosens is better than Theo. So he disagrees with you. Let's see if Lucas's mic works this time. Lucas, are you with us? Oh, my God. Mamma mia, Lucas. Lucas, all that build up. People are here sitting. They sat down. They have their popcorn out. They're waiting, but still nothing. Anyway, sorry, Roy. Keep on going with your argument. You're saying.
Yeah, so for me, everybody's. I mean, for me, Theo Hernandez is all about his pace and power. So he can, him and Rebic, they're technically they are not as great as what not I mean, other top wingers. I mean, they do not, they don't have that kind of what I would say call as footballing intelligence. Like they don't know how to make the ball work. In Theo Hernandez crossing is very erratic. One day he can cross like Roberto Carlos, the other day he crosses like a normal Sunday league footballer. So I would if I mean I've been saying this a long time. If we want to improve our team, it's not just Theo, but I need even Calabria to be more productive as a fullbacks. I mean, my model team. I mean, not just my model team, even Pioli's model team. I mean, he based his tactics of Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich has Alfonso Davis in their system. And if anybody had watched the 8-2 game that they destroyed Barcelona, Alfonso Davis just destroyed that right side of Barcelona, and he was
Yeah.
extremely good at finding passing options. So he would go into Barcelona's half, and he would actually do passing combinations with other players, and he would actually just stroll into Barcelona's box and either score a goal or even put in across. So I think if we want to actually improve, I mean, or if Theo Hernandez actually wants to be a better player, then I think he has to take on the role like what Marcelo does or what Marcelo did. I mean, Marcelo
Yeah.
is not that great anymore. He's past his kind of age. What Alfonso Davis want is, I think that's what Theo Hernandez should be. That's why I think he's not even getting selected for France as well.
Well, Rohit, to give Theo, for me, let me defend Theo a little bit. So he is still quite young, actually, still very young, and I want to see what the future brings. I think there's a lot of uh, things about his game that he knows he needs to improve if he wants to make that step. Personally, I do not want to see Theo leave AC Milan. I am
I,
very happy
I
with.
I am not for selling Theo. I just spoke about the possible if Theo is sold, and that was my argument. I don't want to sell Theo. I mean, selling Theo and getting a new left back and integrating him, even if it is Gosens, integrating him into the team would be a challenge. But if an offer, like in the words of Godfather, if an offer that we cannot refuse came, then we should sell, given our financial situation.
Yes, yeah, okay, fair, fair. I want to ask you a question, Rohit. Is there a player? Because I think you already answered this question the other day, but I want to make sure. Is there a player currently right now at AC Milan that you personally would not sell, no matter what the offer is?
Uh, right now, I would say Kessie. I think Kessie is a bit irreplaceable right now. I mean, changing him to, I mean, I did say that Renato Sanchez and all, technically they are all better. But if we sell him right now, I think getting a new player and, kind of trying to replace him and getting that player into the system, and maybe if he's from a foreign country, getting him to adapt to Italian conditions and Italian defenses, I think that would be a bit difficult for the new player, because even Kessie himself took 3 to 4 seasons to get used to AC Milan.
Okay, so KC, huh? I think that's a good player. But nobody else, everybody else, you think is worth selling if a right offer comes.
I think everybody is sellable. Everybody is sellable.
Fair, fair. I think I agree with you on this one because I'm not against selling Theo Hernandez, but if honestly, my threshold with Theo Hernandez is 100 million. If a
I
hundred
mean,
million,
if we want our players to be irreplaceable, that would mean that we would have to do something like what Real Madrid did, like win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. That team would be irreplaceable. When they
yeah,
are the best, they were the best team in the world. We are not even the best team in Italy. So I think,
right.
so I think that, I mean, until and unless we can keep, I mean, we have no threshold. I mean, where we cannot improve anymore. I think there is always room to improve.
Right. Absolutely. And we'll see. I have a suspicion that we will be a pain in a thorn in many teams' feet when it comes to the Champions League in these upcoming years. Let's see. As Skiller says, Pioli's model team is Krunic clones to play in all positions. Skillard has an incredible obsession regarding Krunic. Even thinking about losing tail is stupid. A club like us needs to grow legends. Lucas says, what mic option should I use? I'm not sure, Lucas. I honestly don't know. Just try out 3 of them. Try out all your options and see which one works. I still feel if 100 million plus offer comes up for Teo, I'm willing to sell him. That's what I think also. All right, guys, let's move on to the last segment of tonight's show. We are going to discuss tomorrow's formation. I'm going to post the formation right here. Both Antonio and Rohit, what do you guys think? What are we going to see?
Rohit can go first.
I don't see any difference from what we played against Nice. It's going to be a 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1. It depends. I haven't seen Valencia play, so I don't know how they
Roy.
press.
Oh my God! Oh, guys! We have a legendary moment that just happened here. History has been made. Okay, this is like Herbert Kipling founding AC Milan. We have Lucas here. Lucas, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, right? I can't hear you like loudly,
Okay.
but I'm trying.
Lucas, so you heavily disagree with Rohit about Gosens, huh?
Yeah, but I was listening to their arguments, and I agree with them. But one thing with the Inter argument is that Marotta said he wasn't willing to sell any of the big stars anymore. So whatever offer that Chelsea puts, if it's 100 mil, 150, 200, he's not leaving, bro. So Rohit, get your facts right, bro. I can't hear you right now. I don't know why I can't hear you, but yeah, get your facts right.
I don't
Rohit,
think
Yeah.
he wasn't talking.
Can you hear me now?
You read for
Can you,
Sempre Milan. You should do better, bro.
bro? I if you see my Twitter timeline, you can see Inter's accounts being, kind of. I've retweeted it many times. I've actually even put it up many times. So if you want, I'll tag you right there.
I'm
This
sorry
is
to
not
interrupt, but
compiled.
by the way, I can't hear what Rohit says. So you need to
Oh,
tell me what he says afterwards.
He says that he has like a thread on his Twitter that has like Inter's accounts, or if you want to repeat that.
Hold on. How can you not hear what he's saying? Do you have headphones on? I
Yeah.
guess you can.
By the way, Lucas sounds
But I can't hear him.
completely different from what I thought he would sound like from the way he types.
Yeah.
You can't hear Rohit?
am I
Yeah, I
audible
can't hear
now?
Rohit.
Am I audible now?
I hear Rohit perfectly.
Yeah, I hear him as well.
Maybe it's because it's almost 5 a.m. here. That's why.
That's not an excuse, Lucas.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Antonio. I can't hear you too, but yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. So if somebody can tell this to him. So what I said was, even Marota's job is not sure as of now.
I'm going to
There are
watch your stream on YouTube and mute myself so that
Okay,
I can hear
Roy.
him.
Roy, just tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Do that. Watch the YouTube stream and listen to what Rohit says. All right, go ahead, Rohit. He's doing that.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is that even Marota's job itself is not sure about like what he's what it is like, if he's gonna be there, because he himself is not on good terms with the owners. But I mean, he's just trying to save his job. I mean, trying to save his face, because I mean, if anything, if Inter would collapse, then obviously all of the blame would come on to him, because people still don't know there is a guy called Antonello, or Antonella, I don't know his proper name, Antonello, who is the CEO of the club and who is the one managing the finances, just like how we have Garcides here. So yeah, and in terms of facts, I do not prepare the accounts of the clubs. I am speaking from the audited accounts of the club, and auditors are what who determine the accounts. And these are, I mean, the fact that they have 800 million, and 800 million debts. If they don't sell Lukaku now, then they would have to sell Lukaku at some other point, because or they may have to sell the club itself. That's something that would have to happen, because they actually do not have any money to pay out their debtors. They didn't even have money to pay the players, and I think they're still back on wages in like for like 2 months now. So I that's how I got this information, and I just don't. I mean, even before like Conte left, they said that they wouldn't leave anybody, but Hakimi was sold, and Conte left. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't go by empty words.
I think they say that he says that because he has to say that for the fans. No Inter fan wants to see Lukaku leave, so he has
I
to
mean,
say that.
the Curva nod. I think the Curva nod actually even held a protest against Zhang and Co. I think around 1 month back after Conte left. So I mean, even if you look at their signings, their only signing is the world class Hakan Çalhanoğlu on a free. So like,
Hey,
I mean,
Rahid, Rahid. I do agree with you that he is world class.
in which but which world? That's a question. Which world?
This world, this world, this world.
Okay,
No, no, no,
so
no.
and their replacement for Hakimi is a kind of a Bellerin, who I think is a spent force in Arsenal. Maybe in Inter Milan he may come back when he can get back his pace. But Bellerin was a great, I mean, was a good potential player in Arsenal. But after his injury, just like what happened to Conte, he's become a very bad footballer. I mean, not bad. I can't say bad. He's a very average footballer. So trying to replace a world class player like Hakimi for a decent footballer like Bellerin is not, and they can't even pay for Bellerin as well. They're not able to pay for Bellerin. They're
Mm.
trying to get him on a loan with
Right,
option.
right. And Nandes too. We're struggling to get Nandes also.
They're struggling to get Nandes. They still haven't offloaded Raja Nangolan and Diego Godin as well. And they even have Arturo Vidal and Sanchez on 14 million a year, I think, each. 14 million a year each. So all of this actually was brought upon by themselves, where they chase success without kind of looking at their own money. But since Lucas asked me, where, I mean, speak the facts. These are all facts, bro. These are all there on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, researched by people who are actually informed on these things. And I'm not as informed on accounts like other people are, like what chartered accountants are. But this information has come from their own accounts.
Roy,
It,
um, since we have everyone here, can I
Yes.
ask what Rohit and maybe if Lucas wants to answer what they think about the credibility of Juventus or just some other topics like Pioli in, Pioli out to have
Yeah.
a
Of
good
course.
debate?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay, Rohit, I'm sure you were here for, or if you weren't, we've debated whether Juventus should be respected because of their past 10 years of
Oh my God.
domestic success. But many people say no, and I'm one of them for many reasons. And Roy is pretty strongly, he argues that they should be respected and they're a great club. So, what are your
I don't.
thoughts on
I
that?
don't think we're. I don't think we're a great club.
Oh, really?
I think we're an incredible, magnificent, epic club.
Okay.
I'm somewhere in between of this debate. I do know that Juventus are pulling the strings behind, but I think their players and their coach has to be respected for what they earned on the pitch. A lot of they I mean it mean they did it in Europe as well. I mean they got to two UCL finals. I mean I don't think that was all.
Rohit, 1 second though. Roy always says that trophies are what equals success. So
Of
what
course.
what European trophies have they won recently?
No, I'm not. I'm saying it. I mean, for Roy, trophies are the success. But for me, I'm someone who believes in the process. I think that the process was right for them. They were actually good enough. But like I said yesterday to Roy, I mean, times of defense is. I mean, like the defensive tactics is not no longer working. I mean, attack always overpowers defense these days. So, like they were on the right path, but I think that they were they were in the right process, but there was a lot of favors given to them as well. But a lot of it was achieved on the pitch as well.
Oh my God! Hey, first of all, you don't decide what a proper Milan fan is, Mr. Shah. All due respect, and second of all, I can't believe we're getting into this again. I'm telling you, very well played. Very well played.
Okay, I don't want to. We don't need to debate this for too long because I need Liar or someone else on for that debate. Because then it gets really funny. But what about Pioli? What are your thoughts on if and when Milan should ever look to get rid of Pioli? For me, it's at the end of either if he's doing horrible midway through the season or at the end of the season if we miss out on Champions League. I think it's fair to sack him then. But what are your thoughts?
I would actually I was having a debate before this the video started with somebody else. So if we I think Roy would agree with me. If we look at the whole history of Milan, we never had great coaches being coaches for us. All of the coaches became great at AC Milan. I mean, Sacchi was a shoe salesman and I mean he never had a pro footballer history. He just became a coach with Parma, and then he came to Milan and he became this legendary tactician. Capello had no previous experience with any big clubs. He became one of Milan's greatest. Uh, Carlo Ancelotti was a great player for Milan, but he was sacked at Juventus for being a average coach. And then you have Nerio Rocco. Also, he was the coach of Trieste and or even Padova. I mean, they were not great teams. He did not achieve any UCLs. So all of the teams have a history of coming. All of the great coaches have a history of coming here and becoming great. So I think Pioli until now did not have a great team. He was always coming in between and he was taking teams mid-season and trying to achieve whatever was target was set to him. But now with a kind of a stable team and a bit of resources given to him, he's kind of bringing it out. But I think that if we do great this season, I think I would keep him because stability is what we need as a team right now. We just can't keep chopping and changing. We can't change our coach. It would affect our tactics. Let's say, for example, if we do sack Pioli and Conte, we bring in Conte. It would alter our team very horribly, and we would need a lot of different players, and we would need a lot of transfer market activity, especially when we are not in the right financial situations or in or we cannot even sell our players properly. So I think we should just keep Pioli for
I
now,
agree with that.
I
unless and
have
until unless and until he, I mean, like you said, he goes horribly wrong. So then we would have to change.
okay. Two follow-up questions. Number one, so if he doesn't make Champions League this season, are you keeping him for another year? And number two, what if the opportunity to sign a coach, maybe who won't require super crazy like finances or transfers, like maybe like Galtier, who was available this year.
No.
He's just won the Liga One.
No
He's
French
gone to
coaches,
Nice.
frankly.
He's going to Nice. He's the coach of Nice.
I know. I'm just saying. What if opportunity to get a good coach that's won something, but isn't going to be like too stingy about
I
transfers comes up?
I think we made our kind of intentions clear last season because for me Rangnick was one of the best coaches. I mean, one of the best people in football available. But we decided to keep Pioli and Maldini and not go with Rangnick, and I think that was a clear intention of what we want to do as a team. So I think, I mean, if let's say if we don't do horrible, I think this season if we don't make Champions League, that I think sacking Pioli is kind of
Yeah,
justified.
yeah.
But if we do make the Champions League, then I don't understand why. I mean, I still even don't understand why people want Pioli out right now. I mean, I know most of it is coming from Hauga fans who want who want Pioli out just because Samu Castile who plays. I don't even understand how a left winger is supposed to play a right winger. I mean, there are so many contradictory opinions. People say that Hakan was played out of position, and they want Hauga also to play out of position just because he looks better than Samu Castillo. Even against decent teams in Europa League, when we played Lille, Hauga missed a sitter, and even against Juventus, he had a very bad game. Against Cagliari, he had a very bad game. Against Torino in the Coppa Italia, he had a very bad game. I mean, when you have bad games and when you are playing in an ultra competitive team like AC Milan, then obviously Pioli would obviously go by a meritocracy here. And I don't understand. I don't understand what fans would say. Like if he kept giving Hauga a chance, Hauga and Pobega and all of these kids in the youth Primavera a chance, and we end up eighth in Christmas. Nobody's gonna say, you know what, he only gave a chance to every coach, to every kid. So let's keep him. If we are eighth by Christmas, people would want his head.
I have a
So
question. I have a question, Ray. What if Pioli doesn't make top four, but he brings AC Milan all the way to the semifinals of the Champions League? He doesn't win the
He deserves
Champions
to
League.
get sacked.
He still deserves to get sacked.
Top four is an easy objective compared to a Champions League semi-final. If you don't make top four and you make Champions League semi-final, then you are still a fraud. Like who reaches a semi-final of a Champions League and fails to make top four? He's a
I
fraud.
don't
He's
agree
a
with that.
fraud
I
if
don't
he
agree.
doesn't.
I don't agree. I think making the Champions League semifinal is
we
more difficult.
I just want to.
Chelsea won the
Yeah.
2012 Champions
Well,
League and
Ajax
finished sixth
made
in the
the
Premier League.
Champions League semi-final in the first season back for like 2 seasons or one. I don't remember. And they almost made the final. It was just a last minute goal and they got kicked out. And now they can't even get out of their own groups. Yeah.
I
Right.
do want to
Okay.
say
Okay, that's
I
fine.
think
That's fair. That's
to
fair.
answer that
Yeah.
question,
Yeah, fair.
if
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I don't think he can hear me, but to answer that question, I think it depends on the way we get to the semifinals. Like if we I mean, there's always going to be luck involved, but if we're not playing well and we just get an easier draw or we somehow, I mean, of course we're going to have to play one good team and get past them at least, or maybe probably two. Um, if we kind of get there in a way that's not convincing and we do really poorly in the league, then I would still say, I guess, sacking him. I mean, it's tough, but I'd still probably lean towards sacking him. But if we're playing good football in Europe and even in the league, as long as we play good football and like if things don't go our way, then I guess I would keep him in that situation. So
You know what? Knowing how the Italian media is and knowing how all of those guys think over there, if a team makes the semifinal, it's a big deal. That's a big deal. And in usually, one second, hold on, Lucas, one second. And usually, coaches that get to the semifinal of the Champions League, after, let's say, coming back for 7 years after, will get a lot of praise. So it's going to be difficult if a scenario like that happens. Pioli might still be AC Milan coach for next year. Go ahead, Lucas.
I know that the Europa League is way lower than the Champions League, but Roma were meant to finish in the top four last season, and they didn't. They reached the Europa League semi-final and they lost. And Fonseca still got sacked. So I think reaching a Champions League semi-final isn't really a successful achievement if you don't make top four.
I don't know if
That's just my
Lucas can
opinion.
hear me. I
And
don't know if Lucas can.
the the Theo Hernandez deal, I just remembered something. I come from Portugal, and like Benfica is the biggest club in Portugal. They always
Okay.
sell the top players. They've sold João Felix, Ruben Diaz, João Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, all these guys, and now they're struggling to win the league. They're losing the league to a team like Sporting, who who haven't won it in like 18 years. So to me, selling all your top players isn't ideal. I
I agree
think
with
it's a
that.
mistake.
Roy, I have to sign
Yeah,
off.
that's all.
Lucas
That's all I have
can't
to
hear
say.
me, so if you could like tell him,
Roy.
if you could tell him,
I agree with you, Lucas.
yeah, Roy, I said I have to sign off.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. I want to keep listening to Rahit's response because I know he has a response ready for what Lucas just said. So, all right, bye, guys.
Oh, just one thing. Actually, no, I don't want to talk about the Juventus thing because Antonio, you brought up the Juventus thing. But actually, maybe I do. Maybe
Okay.
I do. I'm curious. So when we had that big Juventus talk, it was that Montarigo, right? There were, let's say, 98% of the Milan fans blamed the poor performance of that campaign because of Juventus and the Montarigo. I was not part of that 98%. I was part of the 2% that was saying this is all excuses, all bullshit. That game happened in February. It was a tie, 1-1. Milan still had 3 months of Serie A to play. They screwed up all the other games. We can look at that season and see how many games Milan screwed up. But Rohit, what is your opinion on this? Since Antonio brought it up,
I think when it was 2012, I think I was around 18 or 19 years old. So at that point of time, I was like Lucas. Like Antonio. I thought that it was all due to that kind of goal. But looking on now, understanding the financial problems of AC Milan, I think it was coming. We actually in 2009 we made our first loss as a club, and after 2007 it was all papering the cracks. Our cracks were wide. uh, Maldini and Nesta were, Maldini and Nesta were, their powers were going down, and they were getting older. Seedorf was getting older. Gattuso was getting older. And then, to save face, Berlusconi invested in Robinho and Ibrahimovic, and somehow we got Thiago Silva as well. And in 2011, somehow we kind of we won the league. But the issue was always prevalent. It was already there, that the fact that the 2007 Milan team was the best team, and we don't have a apt replacements to kind of fill out those kind of players. Obviously, there is no replacement for Maldini, but ever since Maldini retired and ever since Jankowski left, we've never got a proper left back. Except now we have Theo Hernandez
up until now, yeah.
up until now. So I think that was all coming. We actually in
I saw it coming.
2012 was when
I saw it
2012
coming
was
in
when the crack
2008.
really opened.
Right?
2012 was when the yeah I got you. 2012 was when the crack really opened.
Yeah.
That was when we actually understood everything.
Roy, before
All
I
right.
sign off,
Okay.
just because I have to
Yeah.
sign off,
Yes.
I admit that, of course, like there was what's it called, other factors, and it wasn't guaranteed whatsoever that we were going to win the league. But at the same time, that moment and there's just a blatant, blatant miss of, like, I don't know, the referees just missed the whole situation, and it was, that's where my frustration about Juventus kind of comes from, that and also just other things in the past. So, like, that's one of the reasons why it's hard to respect Juventus as a club when these things happen and they were able to, like, always get these little decisions here and there to help them get push over in these past years. So I think that's just one of the reasons why I'm frustrated.
Yeah. I totally respect that, guys. But you guys know this about me. Honestly, I respect all clubs. I respect all clubs. No matter what.
What about
club
PSG?
Of course, I respect PSG.
Inter Milan.
Really?
Of course, I fucking work for them. Inter Milan. Yeah, I respect Inter Milan. Of course, I respect Inter Milan.
I can't respect PSG after what the. How can you like? It's what gives them respect? They haven't won anything on the European stage, and all they do is just
it's because
money.
of this. It's because of this. When you work in the footballing world, you don't see things as a fan anymore. You just see people being professionals doing a job. It's not a tribal kind of. The tribalism kind of goes away, you know, and you just see the work of people. But when it comes to my faith in a club, who I support, it's Milan. You know, of course, you're never going to see me wear any colors except for these. But when it comes to respecting the work of other people, I'm always going to respect the work of other people.
Okay, Roy. So just before I go, look, I'm not just because I don't respect the team doesn't mean I'm trying to disrespect PSG. I don't care. Like at the end of the day, I don't care. But have they earned my respect? No. Like I respect teams. Like when teams have to deserve respect. What has PSG done to deserve my respect? I respect Real Madrid. I respect Liverpool. Yeah. I respect even Manchester United. I respect many of these teams. I don't respect PSG because they haven't earned anything. And look, they can buy all the players they want.
This is the only team I can respect. This is the only team I don't respect.
Look, PSG can buy all the players they want this year, and they can win the Champions League. And I'll respect them because they won the Champions League, whatever. But for a team that has all this financial power and they haven't won yet, that's kind of ridiculous. So I don't respect them yet. Like there's nothing to respect.
The thing about it is, for me, there's also an emotional connection, I guess, because I know the people that work for PSG here in California, and they're really great people. They're awesome people. I love them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I just, I see the work they do. And Del Piero, even Juventus, they're here. I'm not very familiar with what they do, but PSG, I'm very familiar with what they do. I'm familiar with Barcelona and the people that work for Barcelona. So it's like, you know what, it's kind of like when you talk shit about someone, but then when you're eye to eye with that person, you know, it's just another human being, and you're just, you know, you're just talking to another human being. So I
mean, I understand, but it's different. Like talking
like Lucas,
to, like,
right?
The owners, it's
guys,
different talking.
I'm telling you, sorry, and then I want you to finish what you're saying. Look at Lucas and how much crap he talks on chat, but then when he comes here online, where's all that crap talk, Lucas?
You're right. I need to be a bit respectful. Like, if this wasn't a family-friendly stream, I'd have said more about Rohit. But you know, Rohit and I are like cool now. Since
is that true, Rohit? Are you cool?
I'm always cool with
since we agreed on the Theo Hernandez situation, I think we're cool. I think we're brothers.
Okay.
I'm always cool with Lucas.
But I can't hear what he says though. Yeah.
Rohit is saying that he's always cool with you, no matter what.
I think overall
we're brothers.
I think overall everyone is pretty cool with each other on this stream.
Yeah,
like it's not. I mean, if Lucas is cool with Rohit and everyone else, then everyone is pretty cool. Because I can't think of anyone more brutal than Lucas in the chat. So,
and Lucas has developed a reputation across all the Milan channels. I see.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, when I before I came on, I started coming onto the podcast
for Sempre Milan, but they changed their schedule to like Sundays only, and it's a bit challenging for me to do ratings on Sunday evenings.
Yes, Rohit. Yeah, I can do that. Go ahead. Sorry, Antonio. Then please go. Please say what you got to say. Lucas, Joseph says, "What about Anwar, Lucas?"
It's locked on site, bro. It's locked on site, Roy. You already know it's locked on site.
Roy.
Okay, go ahead.
Just two things. First, when I before I came onto the like stream, I started to when I was looking around all these different YouTube channels, I noticed Lucas on every single video about Milan, he would always put comments.
Yeah,
So
me
I
too.
noticed that was funny. But the other thing is, on one Milan forum day, we have to get like everyone here. Lucas has to fix his like audio so he can actually hear us. We have to get Saif,
Right.
Liar, everyone who comes onto the like Nathan, and we have to just debate like all the biggest issues.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Actually, I'm thinking about a show that I want to put together, and this is the show, Curva Sud Milan, and it's going to be just debates. It's just going to be 1v1. We're going to pick a topic, and if you are on this side of the topic, you're going to go against the person that is on the other side of the topic, and we're going to make a show all about that. Okay, so Rohit has a tweet that he wants me to share. Okay, and I'm going to share it in a second, right now. And then Rohit, you tell me exactly what about the tweet you want to say. Let me take down the comments here. We're going to get Rohit back. Let me get rid of this. And where Rohit, you disappeared. Okay, well, anyway, Rohit sent me a private message saying he wanted me to share this. I'm sure he's going to be back. But yes, Antonio, we're going to do a show that is going to be all about debates. I don't want the Milan Forum to be about debates and going at each other. The Milan Forum is going to be more about opinions. We're going to have moments where people debate. But we're going to have the Curva Sud Milan. That show is going to be strictly 1v1 KO style, punch.
I already know a relevant topic. We got to
Yes.
do it. We got to do a Hauge debate because I know
That's a great idea.
either people love him or they don't. They really want him to go. So
That's a great idea. And if you guys have ideas for that show, bring him on. All right, Rohit, tell us about this. I cannot see it. It's still loading. Let me pull up YouTube. Rohit, are you with us?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got a call.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah. So this is the debt that is compiled by an account called Swiss Ramble. They're a group of chartered accountants. They're the ones who prepare accounts for clubs. So
Okay.
I mean, like I said, every club has to make its accounts transparent at the end of the year. So this is the accounts that has been made transparent at the end
Holy
of
shit!
2019. Look at so you can see all the total debt. Tottenham has 1.177 billion. Barcelona
How
has
did
1.
I miss? How
Inter
did
Milan.
Tot-
Tottenham, it's stadium.
Okay, stadium.
Atletico Madrid has 804. Inter Milan, you can see, is 757. This is 2 years back. So this is 2020, at the end of 2020 June. So at the end of 2020, their total debt is 757 million, and out of that 182 million is transfer debt. So that means they had 182 million to pay to their to other clubs for the players they bought, like Haki. No, I mean, this one wouldn't include Hakimi. So this is without Hakimi. That is Lukaku, Barella, and Perisic, and whoever they bought before that.
Staff debt too.
Staff debt. That is wages to players, and there is tax debt, trade creditors, in like for whatever stuff they've bought, or if they've bought anything to their to whatever. I mean, we have Casa Milan. I don't know what their office is called. So like whatever stuff they've bought, or whatever, those are trade creditors. So in total, total debt is 757 million of Inter Milan. This is as of June 2000, last June 2020, and I'm dead sure that this would have increased. I mean, for all clubs it would have increased, given how there was one season full without fans. So this is how bad the whole financial situation is.
Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Milan is not bad. Financial debt. This is what year? This is last season. So
This is
zero
after
financial debt.
this I mean the 101 million could be even what we owe to Elliot. I mean for financial reasons, Elliot owns us through another company. This is to avoid tax. So like it is shown like Elliot is giving us a loan, 0% loan, and we have to pay it back. That's, I mean, that's how they invest into AC Milan. They've already invested like close to 700 million into AC Milan. Elliot have already invested. That's how they show it. So this 101 million could be like what Elliot have given to us, and in AC Milan's account, it is shown as 101 million debt.
Wow, wow. That's not terrible though. It's pretty decent. Staff debt. We have a staff debt. We have a tax debt of only 2 million, but in comparison to the other teams, we are the one with the least amount of tax debt. That's good. Trade creditors, 40 million.
Look at Juventus. They have 752 million.
Where's Juventus?
Just below
752
Inter Milan.
million.
Just
Wow.
below.
Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy. But Juventus did give us 400 million injection of money. I'm sure that's going to help them or not.
That's 40 million per season as per Jeep. I think. Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, one thing about Juventus, it's listed in the stock exchange, unlike other teams. So Juventus is, I mean, their stocks are very kind of fickle. So tomorrow, if Cristiano Ronaldo scores a goal, the stocks would rise, and if Cristiano Ronaldo has some rape allegations against him, the stock would crash. So they have that issue. No, actually, it did crash. By the way, I mean, whenever so when when Juventus, he was a Juventus player, and there was a rape allegation, the stock crashed, and they lost a lot of money at that point.
Do you think Ronaldo is going to stay in Italy or are we going to offload him?
They can't offload him now because his wages is 53 million. I don't know who's ready to pay that amount of money for a 36-year-old until it's PSG.
Right. I don't think he wants to leave because why would he leave? He's got this massive contract. He's got 1 year more playing in the Serie A. He could maybe do well in the Champions League. Why would he leave?
And he could leave because I think he's not on good terms with Juventus. I think he's kind of a little frustrated because I think at Real Madrid he had the best team around him, and all he had to do was finish. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He had Modric and Kroos next to him. Now he has Weston McKennie and Ramsey. So I mean, it for him, since he's 36 and he's no longer what he was at Manchester United when I think he was the best player. I think he would want to finish his career on a high and get more win as much as trophies as possible. So I mean, I think this Juventus move was a total downgrade for him.
Yeah, oh, for sure. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Really cool. Really cool. But and we don't know what it is this year, right? 2021. We will know. When will we know?
That would be like within 4 5 months we would continue.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. So listen, we gotta finish the stream. So let's go. Let's go back to the last topic of discussion, which is which was this tomorrow. Rohit, you were saying, what do you
Sorry.
think we're going to? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I don't know what is Valencia's level of preparation, but if for me, what I would judge this match today by would be how good are we passing, how good are our movements, are we? I mean, I hope we do not get injuries. That is the third concern. I hope there are a lot of more coordinated movements, and individually, I hope to see Tonali and Leao doing much better,
Mm. What
especially if
about
Giroud is playing as a number nine. I can't see. I don't want to see Leao as a number nine again.
you? Don't want to see Leao as a number 9? Yes, I agree with you on that. And I think if we see Leao on the left and just do what he's supposed to do on the left tomorrow, I think that physically they're a little bit, they're going to be a better than Nice, obviously. I think that they're going to start, that they got the taste of blood against Nice. So they have an idea of what the rhythms are going to be. Obviously, Spanish teams hold the ball better. So the Spanish teams are going to force that Italian team to run a little bit more. Great for them to improve their physical fitness. But I think we're going to see a good game from AC Milan tomorrow. A better game than against Nice. And I think Paul Vega is going to have a great game tomorrow.
I hope Kessie starts tomorrow. I want to see Tonali playing next to Kessie because Pobega is not that physical player that Kessie can be.
I don't think we're going to see Cassie tomorrow. I don't
No,
think so.
Kessie has the fitness since he's played in Olympics, so I think he can slot straight in.
Is he on the team? Is he even on the team? Do you
Yeah,
know?
I think he already reached Italy since Ivory Coast got knocked out of Olympics.
No, I'm saying, was he put in the list for tomorrow's? I don't have the full list of the players.
I didn't get the list as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see that. What about you, Lucas? What do you think about tomorrow? What do you think? Wow, Lucas, man. What a mess. What a mess, Lucas. Hey, I want Lucas to bring the same mess he talks on the chat. I want to see that mess in person. Lucas, if you're talking, we cannot hear you. I think your your mic went back to being bad or whatever. Yeah, well, I'm expecting a good game tomorrow. I did a poll. I wanted to see what the Milan fans thought, whether we're going to win, lose, or tie, and the most of them think that we're going to win. Any predictions on the score? Even though I know you don't care or read about the score, but any predictions?
I think it would be something like 1-1 or 2-2 or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think a tie is most suited, but I think Milan is going to play well. I think we're going to see a good game, and I think Pobega is going to do that.
I did see a lot of good play from AC Milan, especially in the second half. We were combining better. We were actually moving the ball faster and
Hello,
rather.
hello.
Lucas is back. All right, go ahead. Finish what you were saying, Rohit.
Okay. We were moving the ball better. We were actually coming up with solutions to, kind of beat their press, and we were doing it. And we were physically actually, matching them as well. So there were signs, but obviously, Nice were actually more, more prepared than us. So I think, now I think it's more about how fit we are against Valencia and how well we move the ball.
Okay, I have a question for you. So second half for Milan, you're right. They played a little bit better. They look like they're connecting better. How much of that do you credit Maldini, Daniel?
I'm sure nobody would hear me like it. I mean, nobody would like this. I didn't see anything from Daniel Maldini. I just saw him.
Damn.
I just saw him do a few flips and tricks, and I would. I mean, if I want an example, if you want an example of what kind of player I want, I like somebody like Totti. Totti
Like
was
who?
somebody who Totti,
Oh,
Francesco
Totti.
Totti.
Oh,
Totti.
wow.
So
Wow, yeah, okay.
Totti would do all
I'm
those
not going to
plays and
argue
flips.
that.
Yeah, Totti would do all those flips and tricks, but he also used to do something with the ball. I mean, you want the player, whoever it is, whether it's Daniel Maldini or Leao or Ibrahimovic, you want the output with the ball. You want the ball to be moved forward. You want the player, especially the attacker, to break the lines and get his teammate in, or he should score the goal. So I think that kind of player is what I want.
Yeah, no, I mean Totti did all that stuff with a certain efficiency that is out of this world. I mean, I definitely agree there. All right, Rohit. Well, listen, I wanted only to do 2 hours. We went above that. You're not going to be watching the game tomorrow?
I don't know what time the game is. If it is around 10 p.m. Indian time, then obviously I would be up for watching it, and I can even.
So
Do you know what time the game is?
so it's going to be 10:30, no, 11:30 Pacific time, AM, 11:30 AM Pacific time. Basically, it's going to be 2 hours before we usually do the Milan Forum, so you can gauge there.
Oh, 2 hours before you do the Milan Forum on Friday, so that would be like 11:30 p.m. in India. Uh,
7:30? You said 7:30?
11:30.
Oh wow, man! I'm so sorry that the forum is so late for you.
I mean, Friday it's fine, but I mean, Serie A should. I mean, even Serie A games are like. I mean, especially when there is a daylight savings and stuff. Serie A games come on at 1:15 in India.
Rohit, you have Antonio that heavily disagrees with you. He says, I have to disagree with Rohit. Maldini made a clear impact on the game. He broke past Nice's physical players and opened up spaces. He was great.
Like I from what I saw, a lot of the breaking of the press was just done by the kind of different formation and tactic we employed in the second half instead of the first half, and also the players of Nice were very tired
Hello?
because
Hello?
Yes, Lucas.
Okay, okay. I was just testing. Sorry.
Okay, Rohit, keep on going.
yeah. So like they were I mean they were all tired, so they were a bit more. I mean, obviously in the second half there are more open spaces than the first half and lack of concentration. So I am not all that kind of dazzled by Maldini, and I think he gets a little bit of a pass because his father is a legend.
Wow, guys. This is going, okay, this is such a beautiful debate. As I said earlier, Rohit, I don't know if you were if you were on your call or not, but we're going to start a show here on Rossoneri TV. It's going to be called, this is the show, Curva
Sarva
Sud, right? And it's all just debates. We're going to pick a topic, and we're going to have the people that are on one side of the debate going against the people on the other side of the debate, and this is going to be a great debate. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so Udit says it is 12 a.m. in India. The game is going to be 12 a.m. in India.
Oh, yo.
Yo, Roy, can I give
Yeah.
opinions about it? Game.
Yes, I'm going to come to you in a second, Lucas. And I just want to read this, and then I'm going to go to Lucas. Yusef is watching the game with Skillerd in Malaysia, I believe. So if anybody wants to join them, go ahead. Lucas, take it away.
Valencia will be missing their best player, no, their best midfielder because of the Olympics. His name is Soler, but they still have
Okay.
this Portuguese kid who is better than most Italian left wingers. His name is
Okay.
Guedes.
Chill out there.
His career has taken a huge dip, but he's still dangerous.
What's his
Um,
name?
Gonzalo Guedes.
Okay.
Yeah. So for AC Milan, we're going to play a 4-2-3-1. I think with Leo as a left winger. It'd be nice to see how he plays there for the first time in a long time. I
Yes.
think I think the match should. I think we should heavily control the game. Valencia isn't the same team that they used to be back in 2015, 2016. They have uh, they have downgraded massively since then. So we should comfortably beat them. And
Okay.
in the second half, I see Maldini coming on and destroying the midfield and defense. Valencia, I did some research in their past three friendlies, and they play with three at the back and
Oh, okay.
two midfielders and I think three attackers. I think, yeah,
Wow.
if I'm
Guys,
not mistaken.
Lucas is like a scout.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Um, what else? What else? Yeah. Where he was talking about Paulo. Daniel Maldini. That
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go.
he's just there for the shared. For the
For
last
the
name.
name.
Yeah. First of all, please get glasses. Please, please. Like you couldn't have watched uh Saturday's or Sunday's game and after the game make this assumption. Like clearly, Daniel looks like a young Jack Grealish, and he looks better than Jack Grealish, to be honest. Uh, and I
Did
followed
I
the.
just hear somebody say Maldini is better than Jack Grealish? Oh, come on, man.
I
Jack
said
Grealish has
better than
played.
a young. I said
Wh-
better than a young Jack Grealish. And if
Just
you
one, you just judged him by one preseason friendly, man. I
no,
remember,
bro,
That's
no,
a
Jo-
good
bro.
point.
I
That's a
I
good point.
remember,
I
I
watched
remember
them.
Jose Mourinho. Yeah,
I
I
watched them
remember when
against.
Jose Mourinho used to win the preseason Ballon d'Or. That
I
kind of play, and everybody would want to
you're
start by
Heat. Can I
asking.
talk, bro?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, please go on. Please go on.
I watched them against Monza last season, preseason. I watched them against Juve when we lost 3-1. And I watched them against Liverpool, the away game that we won to get first place in the Europa League group. And he was fundamental in those three games, especially in the Juve game that he came on. You can search on YouTube Daniel Maldini versus Juventus. There's one clip where he literally destroys Delete and Bonucci. You should check it
Damn.
out. And
Yeah.
and he starts in the Primavera better than Zaniolo starts in the Primavera, I think. If you go to the if you go to the official AC Milan Reddit page, the AC Milan Reddit made made by the fans, there's a post where they talk about the the youth the youth stats of Italian players like Raspadori, King, Zaniolo, Castrovilli, all those guys, and Maldini ranked like high. He wasn't like the first or second or third, but he really ranked high. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Rohit.
I would like to rebut that. Let me just give a context into the stats. Where did the Primavera play 2 seasons back? They played in the second division, and the second and AC Milan's Primavera team was like 10 times better than all of the other teams in the second division.
No,
So obviously,
yes,
all
but Maldini joined
yeah,
the Primavera at like 17 or 16, and he quickly became like the best player there, and that's a huge
yeah, and
achievement.
as of now, Italian Primavera is actually not any good. Not even one team has won the Champions League for the youth division.
Yeah,
And
but the Primavera doesn't uh really need to be competitive and all that. It just needs to bring out like two or three gems and that's it. Look at Benfica. When was the last time they won the youth league? I don't even remember. And they still produce like so many great talents.
Chelsea,
For example, Felix
Chelsea
is
won
Lucas,
Chelsea won the
let
youth
Rohit
league.
respond.
Chelsea won the youth league 2 times, and from that there is Tomori, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think even Fode Ballo-Touré was there in the final for PSG, the team that Chelsea defeated. So I think yes, and there is also for Salzburg there is Dominic Szoboszlai, There is even Haaland. There is Patson Daka. There are many players that have come from these youth leagues. Zaniolo was there for the Inter team that was there in the quarterfinals of the youth league. So doing well in the youth league is actually very good for players to come up. Not everybody is the like everybody is a champion, but it's actually a metric for currently how do you say how do I say currently taking the players. And for example, let me ask a question: if Daniel Maldini was not a Maldini, would he have even been in the club? Look at Lorenzo Colombo; he's getting loaned out to many clubs.
Okay, let me answer your questions.
Good question. Good question.
Yes, I agree that the youth league is very important to decide how good your team will be in the future. But there are exceptions, like Atalanta. They have been in the youth league for 2 years and they haven't won it yet. And Empoli won the Primavera Cup this previous season, beating Atalanta in the final, beating like teams like other like Inter in the semi final or quarter final. You can double check for me. And
Yeah. So
yo
Lucas,
relax, dude, relax, dude. I'm not even halfway.
okay.
Daniel Maldini, the kid has talent. Like I have seen his talent for like for 2 3 years now. Lorenzo Colombo, he struggles with confidence. Last season, Ibrahimovic, he was meant to be Ibrahimovic's deputy, and he failed because he didn't take his chances against teams like Spezia and Bodo Glimt. He scored against Bodo Glimt, but other than that, he didn't do much. So he was sent on loan to Cremonese, and he failed there. So he deserves to go on loan again to regain that confidence because he's not going to get confidence with Giroud in the team now. Daniel Maldini, Milan needs him for the UEFA Champions League rules. You need at least 8 Italian players uh, to have a 25-man squad in the Champions League. So they need Daniel Maldini. And he's not just a toy or a useless tool that can't do anything. The guy reminds me of a 19-year-old Jack Grealish, a better 19-year-old Jack Grealish. If you go on YouTube, you type 19-year-old Jack Grealish and you compare that to Daniel Maldini. Come on, man. Come on.
All right.
It's right.
Okay.
Let
Can I?
Rohit
Okay.
respond. Let
Yeah,
Rohit
yeah.
respond,
So
because
he was speaking about Atalanta's youth team. So Atalanta recently sold a player called Amad Diallo, who has not even played one. I think he played only one game in Serie A. They sold Amad Diallo to Manchester United for 30 million. And another youth product is Dejan Kulusevski, who they sold to Juventus. And Amad Diallo is the one who scored against us in the Europa League that round of 16 match. And he's already being touted as the next big thing in Manchester United. He's just too young. That's why they went for Sancho. So I don't believe this Atalanta thing is Atalanta is not having a great Primavera. And for
I
Lucas's
never said that.
yeah, if Lucas didn't know, then Atalanta's team reached the quarterfinals of 2019-20 youth league, and they played and lost against Lyon. I think the captain was Pierre Kalulu. Lyon's captain was Pierre Kalulu. So I mean, Atalanta are also good. It's just that the Italian league is not good enough. And he was speaking about Empoli. I mean, Empoli hasn't produced any great players yet. I mean, I think the last great player produced, or the last two great players produced by Italians are Zaniolo and Donnarumma. And Donnarumma has proved it. He's a generational talent. And Zaniolo got his legs injured, so very unfortunate. Okay, so our next question. Maldini played well against Monza, and which league does Monza play in? They play in Serie B. They're not a big team, and that was a
Champions
preseason
of
match.
Serie B, future champions of Serie B. By the way, future champions.
That's still not. That's still not a great thing. I mean, Tonali played for champions of Serie A B, and he's still not as good as Benacer or Kessie is.
Because he's
Seeing,
3 years younger than them, bro.
and one more thing, I watched Daniel Maldini against Rayo Ave, and he had zero impact on that game. I don't I watched that whole game at least twice, and he had zero impact on that game. He didn't do anything what a nine was expected to do, and he was played as a false nine. And at least for even after scoring a goal, Colombo was kind of shipped off to Cremonese. I do accept the point that he is needed for the homegrown quota, which is the only reason why I think he is kept here. Otherwise, he should have been loaned out to another team. And as for comparing to Jack Grealish and YouTube comms, come on, man. I looked at Niang's YouTube comms from 19 years old, and he looked like the next Neymar. Or I looked at the YouTube comms of Suso, and he looked like Arjen Robben. I don't go by YouTube comments. You have to watch a player completely to understand. Last point I want to make is, if Daniel Maldini is that good, why isn't Pioli starting? Does Pioli have a problem against Daniel Maldini?
Because
No, he
Greenwich
doesn't.
kidnapped his kids, bro.
Because what?
Bro,
Wait, sorry, because what?
Because Greenwich kidnapped his kids.
Krunic, Pioli or whoever is
By
going
the
to
way,
coach
that's a
Milan,
joke. Rosaneri TV, don't buy me. That's a joke.
whoever is coaching Milan, the coach only selects a player whoever performs well in training. Andre Silva and Cutrone, I always have this debate. Cutrone outperformed Silva in training and whenever he got the chance. But right now, Andre Silva is a much better player than Cutrone. It is no coach will judge a player based on what he can be in 3 years, because a coach himself does not know if he will be in the job after 2 months. So, coaches are always trained to kind of select players who are good right now. So, if Daniel Maldini is that good, then why isn't he getting selected in the 11?
Because
Yeah, 1 minute, Lucas. We have Mbappe. Mbappe started for Monaco at 16 because he was that good, and even at 18, he was starting for a team like PSG. I mean, that's the kind of quality. That's a generational talent. I'm not expecting Maldini to be that good, but if he was even remotely good, then I am dead sure he could have at least been like a Calabria or even a Locatelli when he initially started for us.
okay,
So
let's do a bet.
I
Let's do a bet.
Okay.
sorry.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to end the discussion here. We are going to revisit this discussion because it is a great discussion. Both of you have your points, and only the future will tell who is right and who's wrong. But this is a good idea of what the Curva Sud Milan show is going to be, and I think Rohit and Lucas are going to get in a lot of discussions, which is good. It's great. It's what we want. Anyway, my take is that Maldini is still young, and he will. I think he will do great, and he'll be fine. But I do have to close, guys. So it was a lot of fun. It was great, and I appreciate everybody that joined us tonight. Tomorrow we are going to have a watch along, and we are going to have a post game. Then probably nothing on Thursday, but Friday the Milan Forum, guys. The Milan Forum. All right, last words, and then we close. Lucas, you go first. Then Rohit, last words. Lucas.
I just want to thank Rohit for being awake for this long. I know it's like early there, or maybe it's in
Bro,
the
it's
afternoon.
it's 11:15 here, 11:15 a.m. It's I'm at work as well, so it's I
Oh
mean
yeah.
I'm this is in my slot.
So
This is better for you.
so congratulations on coming on. I salute you for coming on during your work time, and also like to congratulate myself for staying awake till 5 a.m. just to
Yeah,
talk about Milan. And
nice.
I hope when I wake up from my sleep, we get links to a right winger, a good right winger, not
Who's
illiterate.
Who's your Tete, right? That's your guy.
Yeah, Tete.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you for being up at 5 a.m. and participating. You're always in the chats, and it's great now that you can join the lives too. I think you're going to be great for the with the Milan Suit show. So excellent, Lucas.
Thank you.
Rohit, last word.
I hope, like I said, for Valencia game, we actually do well in terms of the process, and we move the ball. We show a good shape in terms of defense, and we don't let in easy goals. And I don't care about the result. Hopefully, we are fit, and last, I hope no injuries.
Yeah, yeah. True. Good point. I hope no injuries because that would suck right now. Okay, guys, let's do just last thing, last little game. You said 2-2, right, Rohit, the score?
Yes, 2-2.
Who's scoring?
I think Rebic and one will be uh, Krunic. I know Skillet is gonna hate me for this. I just Rebic and
So
Krunic.
Rebic and Krunic 2-2. Let's see. Lucas.
3-0 Leao
What?
hat-trick.
I see. Not bad.
No,
3-0.
no. 3-0 Tonali goal and Leao double.
Okay, so 3-0. Leao double, Tonali one. Let me ask you something, Lucas. Last one. When does the La Liga start, or Rohit? Do you guys know?
Yes,
I think
14th of August. 14th of August. 13th of August. So next weekend.
Okay. All right. All right. Perfect, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you to Antonio also for Antonio was the guy that said let's do a stream tonight, and thank you for all the news. Rohit, as always, thank you so much, my man. Really appreciate you. Lucas, thank you also for being here. Appreciate you also. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow for the watch along. Forza Milan, as always. Arrivederci and ciao.